Boom. Welcome to the RTM Podcast Show, Season 3, Episode 2. You done know, Young Spray, Big Bad Spray. Here with my co-host,
Queen. Hi, everyone.
Queen and Scream. You done know, today's special guest, extremely special and talented. Very grateful for coming through, my brother.
My G.
Mr.
Thanks
George, the poet.
Sir.
George, the poet.
Respect, though.
You get me? You know, by now we have a lot of different guests. Obviously, we try and keep in line with giving out flowers to the old legends or the pioneers or whatever. But in between, we like to have different guests with different stories. But it's all with a positive.
Right.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I've got a sister, right? Well, I just found out I had a sister. When I went to my dad's funeral, I got some older sister, lives in Hornsey, bro, yeah. But anyway, she sends me bare, like, videos and that all the time, yeah. So many videos, I don't even go into them, sorry. Love you, sister, but yeah. So I was deleting all my stuff, yeah, for some storage, whatever. And I've seen that video that I posted on RTM Podcast Show Instagram, yeah, of George the Poet, yeah. And I've seen this video and I thought, what's this? I've just thought, let me just play it quickly. Do you get what I'm saying? Before I delete it. Do you get what I'm saying? Boom, I played it. I couldn't even delete it.
No.
You get what I'm saying? I've just posted it straight. Yeah. That's how it ended up being on the page. You get me? 'Cause I thought, rah.
I never knew that.
Obviously, I rate myself as one of the special ones. You get what I'm saying? So, when I clock another special one,
My guy.
you get what I'm saying? Yeah, the wordplay, it was crazy. So, boom. And everyone took to it well. Straight away. Obviously, I met you before with Russ, little nephew Russ. I think at where was that? Steph London's thing, birthday party, maybe, or one of them events anyway. Yeah, with Russ. Yeah, hail him up as well when you see him. So yeah, I thought, we'll have George on today to share his story and bring some positive vibes. Do you get what I'm saying? And make the youth them.
Respect.
You understand this thing.
Yeah.
The dilemma I got today, it's a mad dilemma, but it made me think of the main subject, you get what I'm saying, which is going to be snitching. You know what I mean? Ratting, grassing, you know. But yeah, we're going to be talking about snitching and all that, yeah. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the PayPal.
Yeah.
You lot need to give some more PayPal though. Seriously, yeah. Let's give some more. It's mad. You get me? Man's guiding this season. You get what I'm saying? And big up Alhan for the last episode.
Definitely.
Respect for coming through. That was funny.
Big up Alhan, man.
Yeah, come on, fam. We ended up putting it out late because just wanted to like give them another week of anticipation. To it's like a season 3. Just thought we'd get a bigger gap, but boom, episode 2.
Come on,
my brother. You get what I'm saying? Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen our show before.
Come on.
But yeah, we start off with like a background, you know, check like where was you born? You know what I mean? Like,
man.
So if you could tell us like where you born.
Born and raised in Northwest.
Northwest, okay.
Yeah, man.
Ice cream tea.
Yeah,
Started off my life in St. Raf's.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, G.
My dog King's estate.
Yeah. Them sides there. I grew up, I guess, mainly between Rafs and Harlesden. So certain articles and that have described me as a Harlesden man or said that I'm from Harlesden. But you know where, I don't know, like for me, when my generation came into their teens, everyone started obviously getting identified by their block. And I think conflict in the end changed, didn't it? The generation before me, I would say, so I'm 30 now, so people that are 40 plus, a lot of them will say that back in the day, if you had a problem with a man, it was an isolated thing. It was just, you get me? But then, by the time I became a teenager, it was like, whole neighborhood's not talking to each other, innit? So Harlesden was like just a calmer place where a man wouldn't be too, you get it, wouldn't get too technical. It's just and a lot of my activities were there, to be honest. You get me?
How was you, like, have you got any siblings?
Yeah. I got 2 sisters, I got 3 brothers. There's a lot of us.
And how was life growing up? Like mum and dad, or?
Yeah, my mum and dad were there. I felt a lot of love. I felt, I knew where I stood. We were given a lot of responsibility. You get me? I had little brothers.
What background are your parents from? Ugandan,
yeah.
Okay.
East Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you? Like, are you the middle child?
I'm the second of 6, innit?
Okay.
So when the little ones came along, African parents, they delegate.
Yeah.
You get me? So we had responsibilities over them from young. And I feel like that kept me focused.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was your parents strict?
Yeah.
So they kept you in line, even though you...
Yeah.
Because growing up in Harsden must have been a bit...
Yeah, exactly. So that started coming in now. So I realised by the time I was 10, I knew that, even before 10, I knew that my parents didn't know this environment like we had to know it, like we were forced to know it. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's just a whole life that I kept from my mum. I couldn't. My dad was a cab driver, so he's more exposed. He would see the people that would come across and hear the mentality when sitting in the car.
Yeah, come on. You must have to...
Yeah,
bear shots,
yeah. So he was a bit more aware. My mum, to be honest, I tried to hide everything from my parents because I felt like they would shut down my social life if they knew what was really going on.
What was out there, yeah.
Come on.
And at the same time, I had to be outside because I had little brothers.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a presence and an understanding of the environment, how are they gonna navigate? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. How was you in school, like?
In school, all right. So there's two parts. There's 2 chapters to my school story. When I was young, I was in the ends. I went local primary school, and that was I had fun, and I was doing kind of well, but when my mum really checked for it, it wasn't really well. It was like the teachers had low expectations of the black youths, innit?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so a lot of stuff just was not patterned. And then my mum stepped in and started teaching me certain things herself from year 6, basically. So from year 6, my mum stepped in, she started teaching me certain shit. And I got good enough to get into a school out of the area, which was, you had to do an exam to get into the school.
Go on.
But the school's a long way away. And then I weren't no big fish in a small pond anymore.
Was that secondary school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now but like I said, you got to do an exam to get in. So it's basically the smartest youths in London.
Okay.
That at that school. And I spent the rest of my school life in bottom set for everything, bro.
In the smartest school.
In the smartest school, though.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I got to credit them because I feel like that environment like kept me sharp where I was distracted and I didn't like school. You get me? After I had to leave my area, there was no fun in school no more. You get me? And it was like a boot camp thing, my secondary school. You get me? So it wasn't a fun place to be. But at the end of the day, it kept me sharp. And I think where the teachers were militant and rude and, you get me, kind of aggressive, really, I think I just developed you get me, a bit of thick skin and a bit of...
How was it did you get on with the people at school, with the teachers? Do you feel like they had high... I know you said they had low expectation in the other school. How do you feel like when you went to this school?
That school weren't easy enough. But I also know that my heart weren't in it. I didn't like school. Yeah. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So because of that, I understood that the teachers, a lot of the time, were frustrated with me. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Or just disappointed. But their disappointment and frustration couldn't make me care enough. But I will say, I don't know, one time I got suspended, and at that time I was developing as a MC, as a rapper. And being suspended and just having time to just reflect, I just started writing a lot of bars, and my bars started like helping me with my schoolwork. It's hard to explain, but it like tidied up my brain.
So did the rap come first before poetry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Natural born rapper, really.
So that was okay.
Yeah.
So it stemmed from the lyric.
Because
I even hear that, even in kind of how that thing what I posted.
Yeah.
Like everything is kind of like you're spitting.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. That's the basis.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's the basis. So when I started coming out as a poet now, I'm getting all these interviews with, like mainstream press, and they want to know like where it comes from, and they all want to hear me say, "Oh, it's because of William Shakespeare." They want me to say English poets, innit?
Yeah.
But when they ask me what my main influence is, I'm telling them
That'd
Nas.
be mad though. That'd be mad. Shakespeare.
They were dying to hear Shakespeare.
So when you
Nas is a lyrical.
But you know that
Nas is a lyrical weapon.
Nas is a poet.
Yeah.
Nas is like,
Of course he is.
and especially his first album, that's what really like gave me focus in terms of what I want to be in the society, because it was the whole street disciple energy. And I knew that I didn't want to, like I said, I got little brothers that are going to be outside. I want to be relevant to my area, but I don't want to. I don't want to do it off badness. I want to do it off knowledge and awareness. You get me? And if anything, we have to be soldiers for each other. That's how I felt from a young age.
God.
Did you who was you listening to at the time then? Who was like your musical inspirations?
Yeah, man. Yeah, literally. So it started off with rap. My brother was more into the West Coast thing, so he loved a lot of Dog Pound and Death Row and Aftermath stuff. Aftermath a little later, but me, I was more into the East Coast thing. So I guess Nas, later on Jay-Z, but then I got like when I hit my teens as well, I got taken in a different direction because of grime and dancehall.
Right.
So I became that's all I listened to for like 5 years, grime and dancehall. I didn't even check for America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was like the Vibes Cartel and Movado. Yeah, because that thing you sent me, I tried to send it to her, but she's on Samsung, innit?
Oh, still. Nah.
Yeah, that's big. That's big as well. Make sure you check that out.
Yeah,
episode 22.
That's right.
George the poet.
George's podcast?
Have you checked?
Yeah. No, but that Movado versus Vibes, I rated that still.
Yeah, respect, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to tell that story.
Guys, I'm gonna say, but yeah. You know what I'm saying, but I don't know.
I can't even claim, because I used to switch sides, bro. When I was on Movado, man.
Movado,
When Movado come true, Movado was up, you get what I'm saying?
And I feel like it's funny because Movado come true after Cartel when I check for it. But he just came through in a bigger way, bro.
Yeah, he came true.
You get me? And
what am I
Cartel
do?
was more of
what am I try? Man,
Marrow
you get what I'm
fly.
saying?
I was like,
Them time Marrow was flying, bro.
yeah, things were hot. So yeah.
So basically, like you were saying, like you wasn't too into school.
No.
Go back, yeah. So when you left school, so what happened then?
When I left school. So I wasn't too into school, but I felt I felt like I had a shot with it.
Okay.
You get me?
What was your favourite subjects?
English.
I was good at it, but it wasn't my favourite. You get me? My favourite subject came in after my GCSEs. I started studying sociology.
Okay.
And I remember my teacher, the first homework she gave us, but because I never did homework, I never got round to it. It was Watch the Wire. You lot watch The Wire?
I've watched The Wire.
All right, that was the homework she gave us. She was like, "Watch The Wire." I did it for 5 years or something. I never watched it.
Why is the wickedest thing
There you go.
ever?
There you go. I don't want to hear nothing about anything. You get
Yeah.
me? I rate bare shows, but The Wire is The Wire.
Wickedest
Yes,
thing.
exactly.
You get
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's got the whole streets to the T.
yeah, and that's what I liked. Sociology gave me that. It gave me the tools to break down what was around me. Sociology was so mad to where in my first year of studying it, we're looking at education. So we're sitting in class talking about school. And no other teacher would do that. No other lesson would do that. Just be real. Like we're learning something called the hidden curriculum. And you can imagine what that is. It's all the little messages that you get along the way.
Exactly.
Who's supposed to cut through? What kind of accent will be successful? What kind of language will be successful?
Man.
And I just felt it in my heart, like when I started. And I think that was the beginning of me developing a voice to where I could become one day, George the poet.
Right.
Go on.
So that's where you say like that sparked your love for like politics and stuff.
Yeah, even with that, like the struggle sparked my love. You get me? And I wouldn't even say I love politics, but I knew there's a struggle. You get me? Like early on in life, whether or not we realize it, something's kind of off. This is my opinion, innit? Like we're big people now, and all now we're going through talking about anti-racism and George Floyd and all of these things, but it's been going on since we were little, and then before that. So for this kind of stress, this struggle to just be recreating itself every generation, you know something's off. Where we have Wi-Fi, we're going to space back and forth all the time. There's bare things happening across the world that they're able to figure out, but they're not able to figure out this the condition of the black world, innit? So that made me know from a young age that I need to figure out how to break this down. Do you get me? I don't want to walk out into the world unconscious, not understanding how shit works. So for that's when I started studying politics and them things there. I never enjoyed it, but I knew it had to be done for me.
I see.
You understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, so was that when you started doing grime and all that?
Yeah.
How did you change from like doing, what made you change from like doing grime and all that to like, all right, I'm gonna do spoken word?
Knowing what,
poetry.
no, you know, and you know this, Spray, because you're a rapper, you're a lyricist, and you're so long in the game. So you've written a lot of bars, and the bars come from your life experience. Now, as I'm developing as a writer, as a rapper, I'm thinking about my experiences, what I'm going through, what my circle's going through. How can I put it? I don't want to disrespect no one, but
Speak your truth.
put it like this: where we didn't have leaders that showed us how to be a man in this environment, we went to the nearest thing that felt like being a man, like masculine energy. And more time, that was the streets, that was the street element of our community. But at the same time, it drove us to disrespect each other. And the disrespect, the way I saw it, it got worse every generation, because the elders used to look at us and be like, "Wow, you lot are moving mad."
And now we're looking at them thinking, you lot are going crazy.
You understand what I'm saying? So it just, like, but then I realized that's the story of every hood. Everyone has that story. Everyone has that story. Over here, in America, in Jamaica, in Uganda, everyone has that story. Every generation that never had leaders did what they felt like they had to do and got judged by the elders for it.
Yeah.
You get me? So, grime, I knew I weren't the best, but I knew who the best was. And the man, they were distracted by the streets.
Who would you say was the best?
No, in my area, you wouldn't really know them.
I might still.
But where I'm saying, man, we're distracted. I don't really want to put them in that light. But on names, some of the people that I felt were the best in my generation, Debo, anyone who's especially like from Northwest. Yeah, you lot should remember what that was like. The Debo wave. From my hood, there's man like Deezy. There's Maddox from around. Bro, they were great spitters, but Northwest was not really too tough with the grime thing. We weren't really, you get me, at the forefront.
No, so Scraps used to do grime.
Yeah, Scraps, yeah, but that was in SLK.
Yeah.
And when he went away and came back, it was more on the rap thing. But Northwest was always like, you get me, like a rap place, I would say, my part of Northwest anyway. Like, while I was only listening to grime, most of my brethren over here were listening to, D Block. You get me? Dipset at the time. You understand?
How do you feel like the whole music scene's changed from like back then to like now, like generation wise? Like, because why I'm asking you this year, because I was thinking the other day, so I was sitting down, I was watching the YouTube and all that, so I was watching Bear Drill and that, and like they're going mad, fam, I'm listening to like they're just going mad, fam. But then like I'm thinking, wait, I'm thinking when man used to spit, like people used to think man was hard and man was saying madness. Do you know what I'm saying? But fam, I couldn't even dream about sitting down and saying, ooh, man's put in spliffs and this one got put in spliff and
That's because you're a big man.
Blood. I can't even believe what they're on. No, but I'm saying even as a little kid. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, bro. There's the difference, bro.
No.
When you're a kid.
No, but I'm saying, when I'm saying as a little kid, even when man was spliffing, even when man was banning some big spliffs, man weren't talking about what spliffs man was banning.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or do you understand what I'm saying? In our generation.
My theory is,
mad.
When a child grows up with something being normal, to them it's normal. They don't even know. So when like I said, when the older generation used to look at us like, raw, how are you lot fighting over a block? Or how are you lot in knife problems when you get me? You know, you ain't got facial hair yet. I didn't even know that was not, I'm not saying that I was celebrating the situation, but I didn't know it wasn't normal. I didn't know it wasn't, I didn't understand why they were shocked, because to us, they were the...
Do you know what it is? I just look at it like it's all, like it said, history repeating itself, innit? Yeah. Like, man grew up listening to Nas, man grew up listening to Mobb Deep, and them man there, man took off them man there. So that's why when man rap, man can hear Tupac or certain little influences in man's thing. They're listening to them Americans talking about smoking Tuka and Duck, and them man are talking about smoking their ups and all that in spliffs. So they're just taking the same thing what we was doing is what they're doing. You get, but in a mad way.
But now to you be listening to, as a grown up who has more respect for life, you be listening to it thinking,
the environment's changed.
Yeah. Your settings are a little bit.
Your settings
you get you got more experience under your belt as well, so you know what these things mean.
Fably, hear what I'm saying to you. I'm even checking, even when man with them ages there, man still wouldn't be on that.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is there's going to be lyrics that you was rapping, that older people was looking at you thinking
that's mad.
No way, we would have never done that. So then, like you said, it just repeats.
History repeating.
It repeats.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's guaranteed. Like, I guarantee you, when kids who are 17 now are 37 in 20 years, they're going to be saying the exact same thing about whoever's 17. Don't matter what they're saying, they're going to find it mad.
But they're going to be saying that having like 17 years left to jam roll and all that. It's too late when they say it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean? They need to just settle this.
But that can't, again, that's a message that's basically impossible to get across. You got to like try and get through to who you can get through to.
Yeah, because at a time, man couldn't tell me nothing.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah,
youth is youth.
So,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but all right. So these are the patterns that I started to read about my environment, and when I was younger, I struggled with it. It made me angry. I started to hate the hood. By the time I was 18, I had enough hatred for the hood because I loved it too much. I loved my people too much. I wanted better, and that pushed me, and I got into my own little politics and whatnot, and that just made me feel like this situation can't work. But what I had to do was grow up and accept. You gotta accept certain things. You have to accept that if people grow up in certain conditions, there's no amount of love that you have for them will change that.
You see, I don't blame none of them. Sorry,
Oh, go on.
Now go on.
I don't blame none of them neither. Number one, I love what you're doing. I like the message that you portray and everything. Do you know what I mean?
Respect.
But I like how you know, like you're still a human. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, show me perfect, it doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean? You was playing Dolph when you come in, you know, you still had nodding your head or whatever. So I know you still like rap and stuff.
Come on.
Do you know what I mean?
R.I.P. Dolph.
R.I.P. Dolph.
You see the camouflage thing.
I've listened to a couple of your interviews, and I know you're very woke. And I know you know that there's a lot that goes on higher up that has our culture and our people suppressed. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot is placed upon the rapper, blame. And rappers are like mirrors of the environment. Do you understand? It's like when Tupac said he's not going to stop talking about how ugly it is out here until we clean it up.
Clean it up.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, I'm unedited. I didn't choose to be brought up in this environment or in the place that I was singing, saw the things that I've seen.
Exactly.
Do you understand? I can't start talking about somewhere else because I don't know about somewhere else. I'm going to tell you about here.
Fact.
I didn't start it. I'm telling you about my experience. I think there's a big difference between glorifying something and just being happy that you made it out of something that they didn't want you to make it out of. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
A lot of men just wanted to make it out of that thing. What, like you said, they didn't have an expectation for you.
Yeah.
I've gone through that with even one of my children's in a meeting and had to tell a teacher to leave.
Come on.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I know what that is. But I just like how you was able to more educate instead of just vent. Like even with me as a music artist, that I didn't walk in to be a role model. I wasn't doing it to make music for children. I went in the booth, and sometimes you just want to just let go. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But I like the way that you've done it. So you don't always are venting, but you're more educating and highlighting what is happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But I just feel like I do think that a lot of the kids have gone crazy with the music and they need to clean up the message.
Yeah.
But we can't clean up what's not being cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you know,
like,
that's
they don't
my
mind.
take.
That's their thing,
level,
innit?
the level of our problems it's unrealistic to expect the youths them to just clean it up on their own. Or to expect, you know, the older generation to just wave a magic wand and have enough bread.
Yeah.
And enough. Because more time what happened is the parents were working. You get me?
Parents
They were
are working. The parents are just thinking, if your grades are all right, that's all that matters.
In my parents' generation, what happened is, all right, boom, see, look at the play now. Africa, the majority of black Africa was dominated by Europe, yeah, since the 1800s at least. Boom. In the 1960s, that started to fall apart. Africans wanted independence. For the most part, they got it, yeah. But the way the Europeans set it up, it was an unstable version of independence. You get me? So dictators came in and started badding up the people and started, what's the word? Taking the country's money for themselves. So my parents came out of that disappointment, out of that trauma. You get me? All of the wars that Uganda saw between the 60s and 70s. Yeah, corruption, all of that. So my parents have arrived here in the 80s now. Bare African parents had that same thing. So what I'm trying to say is when they got here now, this is the land of opportunity. They're not thinking about, they don't know about the hood. They don't know what they don't even know what it is to be black because they've never lived in a majority white country. You get me? So the problems that we inherit and that we adapt to, it's all foreign to my parents and to most of our parents. You get me? They came here for opportunities. So it's just a bit unrealistic to think that these kids who had to figure the situation out without their parents fully understanding what they were signing up for can just wave a magic wand and stop the violence.
I don't think it's their fault anyway.
No.
I think they're programmed like that from the gate. Because even see all the computer games. I keep saying it, but blood, forget drill and all that. Yeah, see like all the war games and all that they got them playing from youths. You even hear them. Yeah, they're like, like this one's a civilian and that. They make me laugh. That one's a civilian and they're talking about if you're not off the road, like that's a civilian. So their mentality is already in war. That's a soldier's mentality, civilian. You're all fucking civilians. You get what I'm saying? No one's in the army. You're all fucking civvies. You know what I mean? But that's a civilian. He killed a civilian. They make me laugh, blood. You get what I'm saying? But they're programmed
from bare different angles.
Yeah, they're programmed into madness. But I'm saying like, even like with arting or whatever, like you get mad. The first thing you think is to punch man in their face, innit? Or whatever. Like they get mad. They're thinking like, they need to go for a knife or, you get what I'm saying? They man are going for knives like they're going for their machine.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is, but we don't make computer games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're not the ones making computer games. It's like in America when they say like they talk about the gun violence like it's people, innit? Yeah. Like it's like when they said, do you know what the killer of caveman was? It was cavemen. It's like no matter what it is, it comes back to man. Yeah. We're the ones that are, do you understand what I mean?
100%.
They are pumping into these things and then you're going to just blame it on music.
Facts.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like music isn't the number one influence that grows you up when you're growing up anyway. It's like it's a combination of stuff, like you said, your parents, school, peers, whatever. Music comes into it, but it highlights a lot of moods that you're in. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So
like, what going for Batty man?
But at the same time,
what going for Batty man? They want to check, like, officer, you want to check my balls?
But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, the biggest opportunity is with the artist.
Yeah.
You get me? That's why people start getting upset.
Yeah.
Because an artist has a young person's mind.
Yeah.
24/7, blood. So when an artist is not stepping up to that responsibility, or sometimes wants to shrug that off, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of these artists are young.
Yeah.
And like you said, they come from they're just getting it out of the mud. They're hungry. You get me? So what's on their mind is eating, not becoming, you get me, a shepherd for bare lost sheep. That's not what that's not what they're trying to sign up for. But I think people, the community, especially parents, start getting upset when they realize how much of their children's minds these artists are controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's real.
I feel like people go to, like you, I was watching one of your, I can't remember where you said, and you said, you know, like the labels, they go for what the consumer wants.
Yeah.
And you go to wherever you relate to. If you like something, it's because, you know, your taste buds react to it or something. You're gonna go to something that you relate to. It's bigger than this. From when you leave school, they have a certain expectation of you. Black boys in general fight to get a place in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
In the workplace, there's hundreds of stories. Women in the, do you understand? So
100.
when there's a space that you feel like you can step into without so much, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like
friction.
Exactly,
so
friction.
Much resistance.
And you can actually like be yourself.
Just you.
Yeah, just you.
100%.
Like, that is why it's so appealing to. Do you understand?
Do you know what I always
like,
tell my brethren? Yeah, you see, there's a generation of Indians older than our parents, who came to this country and started cooking their own food, bro, and they shot it, and that became a whole industry. Now you get an Indian shop, Indian restaurant everywhere, but that's just them being them. They didn't have to go out and do something or come up with some new iPhone that they could sell to the white people. You get me? They just did what came naturally to them. So it's supply and demand. If the bad boy thing is what we can supply, and there's an undying demand for it, then there's always going to be bad boys.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like the youths, that's what they like to listen to, innit?
Yeah.
It's like, why you can't blame them for spitting what they're spitting.
Yeah.
Because it's like man, when man was spitting what man spitting, if man was spitting something else, no one wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? No one wouldn't care. Like,
literally. But but it's now, like I told you, so you were asking me about me and politics, and I told you I didn't enjoy it. You get me? I enjoyed sociology, but I didn't enjoy politics. But I studied it because
you felt like you need to make a change.
What had to happen.
Yeah.
That's what, if I could have, that's one of my mantras. What has to happen has to happen.
Yeah.
You get me? And sometimes it's our own emotions or our own unreadiness for what has to happen that blocks our blessings or blocks our growth. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like, bro, you're not going to be able to cut through. You're going to you're going to be in the same cycle as everyone else if you don't leave the community and get some new information in it. So I consciously made that choice, and it weren't easy. It came at a lot of cost. There was a lot of sacrifice. It was a very slow start. When my brethren were making money, I wasn't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I didn't know, you were just saying that black boys fight for a position in the corporate world. I was on that. I was on that journey. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to
Fighting.
Yeah, you
fighting,
have to
bro.
fight.
I went to Cambridge, and there used to be investment banks that would come down to like talk to the black youths, because they know that if you're in Cambridge and you're black, there's something different going on.
Yeah.
So they would try and recruit us from an early stage and say, you know, you should think about working for our investment bank. And the same trade-off that they were offering is the same thing that the block offers. It's the same thing that rap offers. It's the bread. It's the bread. You get what I'm saying? So I felt, so it's the same trade, like these are the same decisions that we have to make, because I'm thinking, if I go and work for your bank, that's years out of my life, and I can't guarantee that you're really doing good by my people, innit? But it's kind of like the decision that a lot of people have to make for the trap. That's time out of my life, and it might not be the best thing for my people. Same as rap music, it might not be the best for everyone, but I need that bread. So ultimately, I had to sacrifice all of these things. I didn't go into the city. You get me? I didn't do certain things because I felt like we don't have a Malcolm X. Tupac got taken from us.
Yeah.
These people don't come around every generation. So unless more of us step into that role and try and be the leaders for our people.
I agree, totally.
You get what I'm saying? But it's not easy.
Yeah,
It's not easy. It's not
lonely.
easy at
It's
all. It's a lonely
one.
place. I went self-employed from a very young age because of little things like that. Just a little taster of how the plate way it was set up.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I said I'm gonna, just do it for myself.
Yeah, I still ain't got a job.
I've had my trade. I've always had my trade.
You're grateful that you cut through, that you didn't.
Grateful.
You get me? You didn't bite the apple, bro.
Yeah, I still ain't got a job. I was talking about getting a job, but I realised, fuck that.
Yeah.
I was gonna do this a bit more often. This is my job. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
George the poet. This is my job.
No,
get
you
what I'm
cut
saying?
through. No, but see,
and I'm gonna sell some clothes and wear it night. Cause you know what it is? Man was gonna get a job in that, like a madman, But then like, I'm getting they're sending me things. Like someone sent me, I'm not even gonna bait you up, but they've sent me something. I've clicked into the thing and I'm thinking, what? I can't even believe the level of what you think I'm on.
Yeah.
I can't, some loading and some this much an hour and all that. Don't get me wrong, Big up everyone that's working and do, because you know what I mean? Yeah, but I've got other things in it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like this
Oh, you
and
do.
this, the clothing, where that I can, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me gather up my power again. Let me remember who I am, type of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Let me remember who I am and what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And I'm not here for that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm
100%.
saying? God willing. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'll die trying. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm just not on that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Bro, but now we're here doing something real. You get me? Because you you looked inside yourself and you thought to yourself, what can I do that's gonna make me cut through in a way that I'm proud of? And at the end of the day, you use your network, you use your name, your clout. At the end of the day, like, you got a lot of respect out here, and that's, you get me. All of that has contributed to this.
Yeah, come on,
this
fam.
thing being possible. You get what I'm saying?
Come on, fam.
But this is what we have to do. We have to cut through.
Yeah,
and we have
just
to be
show
creative about the situation.
And just show something else as well. Just show them you could. You get what I'm trying to say? Cause man could have just curled up in a corner and just, you get me, or just be mad in it. You get what I'm saying? But
100.
man said, nah. You get what I'm saying? Forget all of that. You get what I'm saying? Man could have went and job centre and done all of that. Man said, fuck that. You get what I'm saying?
100.
They try to rub man out. Nah, bro. You get what I'm saying? Let me still do this spray thing.
And
do it in a different way. Do you get
There
what I'm
you
saying?
go.
On
But
a
it
big
goes
man
back to
thing.
what you said, sis. In terms of self-employment, I was chatting to one of my bros, young boy, yesterday. I actually met him in the jailhouse when I was doing a workshop there. And he came, he was in a different headspace at the time. He's come home now, just like even trying to just stay away from what he used to do so long. But eventually he became a dad, and he realized, like, to really change his life around, he's got to have a plan at least to be his own man. You get what I'm saying? So he took himself to college. He got his electrician's qualification. He's on an apprenticeship now. His bro's doing the same thing. They're in the same predicament.
Big him up.
Yeah, but it's like, whatever your trade is, as long as you got a pathway to being your own person and living on your own terms, you're not gonna let the Babylon system badge you up. Then you,
and make you feel less of.
there you go.
Or make
like
you
like
feel
what you were
like
saying
you've
about
gotta
the
be
job when you looked at it.
Yeah, thinking.
It's trying to make you think that you're less than what you are.
Yeah, I'm thinking, how can you send me this?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm even thinking, how can you even send me this?
Yeah.
And you know, like, it's like like family, like someone close to me. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking, what? Like, what? You think I've gone like that? Or I'm like, yo, that's dead.
But these
You know
are
what
the
I'm saying?
compromises that people have to make every day, you know.
Do you know what I mean?
That's real.
But I rate people that's on that, because you know what it is? Not like that, but if I had to, then I would.
Exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying? If that was what I had to do to put food on the table, or to make sure I could pay my youth's fees to go school and all that, then I would, innit? But guess what? I don't, innit? So
There you go.
do you know what I mean? Like, and do you know what I mean? I'm from the streets, bruv, and I'll always go back there, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like, but there's money in the streets. There's money in the streets. You know what I'm saying now, but man's just trying to be legit, trying to get to that legit place, innit? Ultimately. But man will, you know what I mean, get there man's way.
But
Even in regards to
going back
crime,
that.
though, I feel like they highlight low-level crime so much. When loads of people are working for big corporations and the crime what they committing is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how dirty certain people, their hands.
I can't believe it.
The more money you make, the more dangerous it gets
can't
anyway.
believe it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Certain time, there'll be a big story about someone's crime. Maybe they got a slap on the wrist. Maybe they actually got convicted. But sometimes I look at it and I just think, I compare it to some of the people in our lives who've been given certain years for either doing something less than or doing what they really had to do. And you just think, right, these people are they're trying to rub us out, bro.
Yeah, neat.
You get me?
Yeah.
In broad day.
Yeah.
But we have to have a plan for the generation after us, because I'm not trying to watch their podcast in 20 years saying the same shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be what? That's gonna be King William days, or King Harry.
There you go.
You get me? If
King
William
Harry's
drops
off
out,
the cards now, though.
if William drops out, you get what I'm saying? We're laughing, King Harry.
Nah, King Harry's off the cards. He ain't coming.
Weed is definitely legal straight away. Straight away, King Harry's making weed legal.
What's one of the biggest things that you think need to change in order for the youth to kind of navigate in a different way from leaving school? Do you reckon it's subjects?
Ooh. All right.
Because I'm trying to think from where it kind of stems.
All right. Let me go back to what Spirit was just saying, yeah? And what you were saying. Boom. We fight to try and make ourselves fit in the corporate world or in the workforce, yeah? All right. Now, how do they select, how do they match someone's skills with a job? They look at your qualifications, yeah? We know that system's rigged because if you're not born into the right area or the right situation, then it doesn't matter how intelligent you are. You ain't getting them qualifications. So they're going to try and sideline man's potential, yeah? And push you off to some...
lesser thing.
Yeah, something that's doesn't speak to your abilities, yeah? Your skill set or your blessings, yeah?
And that's time out of your life.
And most of the elite jobs, you don't apply for them, you're selected from them, isn't it? Like they go to certain universities and you're handpicked to go to work for NASA or to go to work for, and if we can't get into those places, how are we supposed to, do you understand what I mean?
Karima, like I just told you, they used to come down and check for us as the black youths in Cambridge. Why wasn't you checking for the black youths in Raps or Tottenham? What, you think they ain't got talent? So boom, we have this cycle, yeah? All right, we're not going to get the qualifications. How are we going to get the jobs that they are making available? And we need to come out of that cycle.
Worse if you be in prison.
If you've been in prison, it's like
Bruv, like...
It's like, you know the vibes anyway.
Yeah, it's worse if you be in prison,
That's
bro.
why I was so proud of bro last night when he was telling me about his electrician.
Yeah, and he's sorting his
cutting through because he realised, and the ego would have held him back. Enough man wouldn't have been able to fathom going back to college and just trying something new. But he's got a vision for himself, and he's able to humble himself for the time that it's going to take to get that vision fully qualified, have something that the boy them can't take away from him. That's a separate point though. But it's kind of related, because my point is, we got to come out of this cycle of relying on their qualification system to give us work. You get me? Why are we in this room? We're in this room because all of our brains and our passions brought us here. Artists, you get me? We're all here because of our own creativity and the tools that we needed. Cameraman. And just as I'm pointing at the camera as well, you say that. The tools that we needed, we can go PC World and grab those tools. You get me? Mic, camera, boom. What's up?
Understand that, D-Lux.
But they make us feel like to say, I noticed they make
Understand we
us
can just go and grab that. You get what I'm saying?
if it's not gone through a certain
put the price down
it's not the right way. Like, it's like if you make it in their world, it's like you've properly made it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to make that relevant.
We need to have
that.
Exactly.
I ain't interested in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I did their thing. I'm not talking as someone who doesn't know what it's like. I did their thing to the fullest, and still, what called me and what made me read what the poem that you shared is all based on home, bro. It's based on our life. That's all I'm really interested in. I don't want to go to the city and work for a bank that's going to make me move around money for people that don't care about us and are not helping us.
Can you get me a job there, though? Can you get me a job in a bank?
Shit, we'll talk off camera.
And if you talk with a little bit of too much bass in your voice,
Right.
you're overly and scary.
My brethren's going through it now.
Do you understand?
My brethren,
Like, it's not
Sandpit
it.
brethren. He's a personal trainer now. Yeah, and he's got. I don't want to talk too much detail, but he works with, I guess, people that are earning. Yeah, white people that are earning in a certain environment, and they're just not used. Like he's a man that just can't not be him. The way he jokes, the way he moves, the way he thinks, it's just
tone
exactly
everything
as I
down.
remember when we were kids. But they can't take it. And then there's someone else at his workplace who is more willing to play the game. I'm a man like that. For years I was. I could just play the game. I could switch on what they needed to see, but it started eating at my soul, so I had to cut out and become a name. But at the end of the day, in his own workplace, he's getting customers turning on him, he's getting management trying to rub him out, he's getting just
All
bare
sorts
shit
of
that
fight.
comes down
Yeah.
to him being a strong
And-
black man.
See it there? And then what that starts to cause is they will only have, like, you can spot them, so they'll only have a few of you because they can't take a lot.
There you
Do
go.
you know what I mean?
I ain't got
It's like when you
patience for
go
that.
to the office and then you just see, like, you know, the token black person in the office or something like that. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't feel like that's the only way that you can make it properly.
And that token
Or
black person, they're the one that's in charge of the Black Lives Matter and all
There
that
you
shit.
go. There you go. And they're ready to...
You do the Black Lives Matter campaign.
But they're ready to hop and step and do what they're told. You understand? More time. But at the same time, when I look at this rap thing now, I'm not gonna lie. That's what that it warms my heart because it was never supposed to bust. How can you have a thing that only black youths can control?
Thank you.
I know the labels get in and do what they do. Industries everywhere. You're never gonna escape that. And as we grow older and we get more experienced, we're gonna become better at
Keeping it to ourselves.
keeping it
Exactly.
arty. But it's new. It's like relatively. You get me?
There's gonna
takes
be
a bit of
Def
time.
Jams over here and all that.
It's inevitable. You get me? Like, what makes the music work can't be taken from us, and they can't make it in a lab. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that the music will always be my like.
We need more masterpiece and that though. We
Yeah,
need
man.
more ownership within the stuff that we create.
100%.
Because it's something that we created. It was an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came, controlled it. And then they're now picking and choosing who's going to be the spoke people for that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
100%.
You know?
But only the real is gonna last.
Exactly.
Realer than most.
Exactly.
Only the real is
Yeah.
gonna last. They can try and they might. You get me? They might make a little change and they might. But only the real is gonna last.
And so, and that's how the thing set. You get what I'm saying? That's how the thing set.
That's how
But
the thing
what you
set.
dealing with now, fam?
Yeah.
What's happening for you now? Like, where can they get hold of your stuff and all that? Fam? I've only just, brother, even though I've known about you and all that, I've only just delved in, you know. And that's why you see when I phone you, you get what I'm saying? Cause no
Yeah.
talent when you get what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah,
saying,
definitely.
right. I wish I got onto you before though.
Respect, bro. No.
Yeah.
Everything
'Cause
in
even
its time.
I don't even know. Did you used to do something with Rich or something?
Yeah, I used to roll with Rich.
That's what I was thinking.
When I
From all
first
then.
come in
That's
the
when.
industry.
Yes, that's
Big up
when.
Rich.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
when I knew of you.
Yeah, see,
But I mean,
I
through
got a
Rich.
lot of love for T, bro. I got a lot of love for Tottenham. Good people that I've collaborated with out there. Shouts out to my brother Mark 5. It's my groomsman. But yeah, right now, I guess my podcast, Have You Heard George's podcast, is what I spend most of my year.
How you get that on BBC, fam?
I just made it myself. I put it out and they were like, yo,
And they got into you.
yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, and
That's
they were respectful. They got out of my way. The real had to be real.
Yeah, because even when I heard the Movado versus Vibes, I was thinking this is on BBC.
On BBC.
You get what I'm saying?
But to me, that was important because, like I said, from when I was young, I was like, no, we need to be able to cut through. I know what I know. I know what's going on in my community and
Right.
how genius this
Yeah.
art is and how hard we're working
Yeah.
to make and how all of the things we're up against. I know that shit. I'm going to put it together. You're going to pay us.
I was just about to say the best
Yeah.
thing with having BBC behind you, they're clearing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're clear. You don't have to worry about what tune you played or this,
100%.
that
They
in the
cleared that.
background. You get what I'm saying? That's
that was
cleared.
and that was one of the number
Do you
one
get what I'm saying?
things
'Cause
that
when I
drew
was
me to
listening,
them.
I was listening to all the little tunes.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
I
this
use
is
bare
sick.
music. Yeah.
This is sick. You get me?
But they clear it. Yeah. So, the podcast literally the podcast was made so that anyone who's in jail, really, that's what it was made for.
Yeah.
Who, like, certain times, like, especially over Corona, 23, 24 hour bang up.
Yeah, come on.
What can you do in that situation? Like, I needed to give people a window out of their cell.
Yeah.
That would let the knowledge in.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the podcast is written like that. It's a movie for your mind.
Yeah.
So that you can not just revisit those moments. Like the Movado and Vibes episode has bare moments that are like dramatic, but also you can reflect and you can. That's our school.
Like an interactive audiobook, innit?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how I wish school was. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't really feel school when I was younger. It wasn't talking to me. It was telling me sit there and be what I tell you. But if they would have asked, I would have said, yo, it's jumping off at home, you know. There's a lot going on where I'm from.
Yeah.
And let me walk you through it.
Yeah.
So that's what my podcast is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I can hear, like, you've got a love-hate relationship with... I know you love the rap, you love your people, but you hate some of the messages in it. And obviously, I know you don't want to rap because you don't want to, you know, you like the classy thing.
No, it's not that.
It's not?
No, I'm just better at poetry
is it?
than rap.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
some of my fans miss my rap.
So what would your what would your like if you what's your wish for what message would you like to tell the art, like what would you like to see? Because I know you like the music, but what change? What would you like to see? What would you like to see? What would you like to hear more?
I think we need to make it normal to respect each other as black men, first of all, and man to woman.
Right.
In the music, that's not rocket science. You get what I'm saying? Like, but it's asking a lot of people who they get ratings from shock value. You get what I'm saying? So enough man will automatically go to the disrespect, especially when they're talking about women. Automatically, because it's just more likely to get a reaction, innit? But I can't emphasize this enough. If we build more respect between us, everything's gonna change. Because we know how to get money. We know how to fight. What's missing is the unity.
Yeah. It's divide and conquer, innit?
Yeah. But that's my like for our generation, a lot of that's it's too late. You get me? But for the generation after, like, hear what I'm saying. Be careful. Like, don't
smarten up.
Yeah, be smart. Like you got a lot of life ahead of you. You get what I'm saying? Like, so many families and areas have been able to build because they collaborated. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, it's not that simple at the end of the day.
Nah, it's not. Because a lot of the dynamics and the situations which was placed out here to separate us were years in the planning, way before we were even in it.
Yeah.
So we're placed in something that was already thought out,
facts.
planned out. They knew how it was going to go. And then now we've kind of got to figure out that we're getting finessed and then try to... do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's kind of hard, but that's...
And to figure out how big the finesse is, that's all long. Like, it takes you years. It's not really until
and it's
most
normally
men reach their 30s.
life experiences that are the biggest lessons.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Yeah, no, man's gonna go into the current affairs in a sec, yeah? But I got my little fire round thing, innit?
Come on.
Obviously, Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Yes.
Simple. You get me? Jay-Z or Nas?
Nice.
We knew he was gonna say that. Movado or Vibes? You have to pick one, boy.
Movado.
Movado.
Big up, garlic guard.
Beyonce or Shanti?
Beyonce.
I'm a Shanti, you know.
But on what level?
Every level. That's what I'm saying. Every level, I think Ashanti's more bad girl.
I love them both.
I like her rhythms. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm just a Shanti, innit?
For me, Beyonce with the work rate.
As an inspiration, more inspirational.
I can't think of anyone that works harder than Beyonce.
Yeah.
Nah, Shanti, that's my jungle or garage?
Garage.
Jungle or garage?
Garage.
Yeah, jungle man.
Jungle days, but
I
garage
remember
music.
jungle days.
But
Piano,
yeah, garage or
helicopter.
grime?
Grime.
Grime or what?
Garage or grime?
Garage.
Yeah, garage.
I
Hip
knew
hop
it was the
or
same.
R&B?
Whew, that's a good one. But I'm gonna say hip hop still.
Hip hop or R&B? Hip hop.
But a lot of these ones that I'm leaving on the table, I rate them.
That's what I'm saying. R&B, go on. That's what I'm saying. Come on, the old school thing.
Yeah, I
You
was
get what I'm
just gonna
saying?
say like
But that's what I'm saying. R&B I might rate over hip hop.
R&B. Do you know what? Those are my best memories.
Because me,
It
hip hop
depends
and
when
rap.
you ask me.
All right, rap or drill?
Rap.
Rap still.
Yeah, rap. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. I did an advert with them last year.
Coke or Pepsi? Yeah. Tango or Fanta?
Fanta.
Come on. Apple or orange juice?
Nah, apple juice, man. Orange rubber.
You weren't rating the orange juice.
BMW.
You
or
lot need
Merc?
to stop gassing up the orange juice further. That's another thing that we need to address. BMW or Merc. I was chatting about this with my bro the other day. Me, I've been a Beamer, man. But it's just like my first console was a PS. I just stuck, so I just kept getting Beamers. I like Mercs though.
Jeep or coupe?
Nah. Oh, you're asking me at a time where I'm on the Jeep thing now.
That's what I'm saying. I could just see what you're on.
But I grew up with a coupe, man.
Jeep or coupe?
Nah, you know what? I'm saying coupe actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's the family thing and the Africa thing that makes me go for bigger cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Turkish or Italian food?
Italians have a couple nice dishes, but pizza wins everything, so Italian.
Turkish or Italian?
This one's hard for me, you know.
Yeah, I swapped it out.
You lot are North Londoners, boy. So.
I'm Turkish.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know.
a Turkish
full on,
food,
I'm
you
full
know.
on.
I love Italian
I'm
as well.
Turkish
I'm both.
full
I
on.
can't pick that
I'm
one.
Turkish
I can't
full
do that
on.
one.
You get me? Indian or Chinese?
Indian.
Indian or Chinese?
Indian.
Chinese over Indian still. Jollof or rice and peas?
Jollof.
Rice and peas.
I'm jollof.
You see, I don't
still.
even understand this one here because I feel like
I'd
jollof
rather
It's
jollof
more of
over
a,
rice.
does
it's more
something
of a
different.
meal.
Yeah, yeah,
Honest,
yeah.
like, you
rather
can eat
jollof.
jollof more on its
Yeah.
own. You don't really eat rice and peas.
Alright,
on
listen
its
to
own,
this,
so-
yeah?
Yeah, rice and peas
I
ain't a
hear what
dish
you
like
mean,
that.
yeah.
Nigerian jollof or Ghanaian jollof?
I'm East African, so I can't even. I'll say Ghanaian.
Have you lot got your own jollof?
Which
Nah,
is
we
the
don't
one
do
that's
jollof.
got the meat
Oh,
in
that's
it?
what I'm saying.
On the East, we don't even
Nigerian
do jollof.
or
Really?
Ghanaian jollof. I'm making you know I know the African thing.
I think I've had more Ghanaian in my life.
Yeah.
Ghanaian's nice. I rather Ghanaian still.
My friend's from Gambia. She does a wicked jollof, but they put meat in it.
With the meat, yeah.
Yeah, do you like it with the meat in
Yeah,
it?
I like it with
I
meat.
love it with the meat
It's
in
bad.
it. Yeah.
I beef for an upper.
Nah, I was neither. I don't really feel strong about either.
Dubai or Marbella?
I ain't even done Marbella yet, but I feel like Marbella.
Duh, I'm Dubai.
I'm Dubai'd out, blood.
Inside or outside?
They do different things.
What's your preference?
If I had acres, it would be inside. Do you know what I mean?
All right, inside. That's where I make money at.
Looks or personality?
Personality still.
I'd say be careful now. You know he's a married man. I say even be careful now. Natural or surgery? Natural. Bum or breast? Oh, these are mental for a married man.
Going mad.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna
thing.
ask the last
Yeah.
one. Money or love? Money. You're gonna have to say
Yeah,
love.
money or love?
You're gonna have to say love.
Love, innit?
love,
Yeah.
yeah.
Married, innit? Last but not least, this one's especially for George the Poet. To be or not to be?
To be. Come on.
You know that, fam. You know how long I rated that one. You know, I rated myself for coming up with that one. You know, you know what to be or not to be. Like, come on, fam. Don't piss me off. Just for all the people that don't know, that's Shakespeare. You get what I'm saying?
You understand what I'm saying?
To be or not to be. That's the question. You get what I'm saying?
That's the question.
That's the
Yeah.
question. So, are you to be or not to be?
To be, blood. Life
Come
is
on,
for
to
living.
be.
Yes,
Man for
come
be.
on.
You get me about not to
Fully.
blood clot be. You get me? I will stay being. As a human being.
Yeah. I
So
see you
that's-
repping the North Wheezy.
It's a
But
must.
come on.
Benja.
Back home business, big up Benja.
Yeah, I already know.
Come on.
You get me?
Cool,
Pick
no.
up Benja. Pick up my bro. Yeah.
Come on, but we're gonna go into the current
Current?
affairs. You get me? Because you see me in my camouflage. R.I.P. Dolph.
R.I.P. Dolph.
You get
You might
me?
as well just start with that, man.
100 shots, 100 stabs, all of that. You get what I'm saying?
R.I.P. Dolph.
R.I.P. Dolph, man.
And I'm not just saying, like everyone's going to start coming, oh yeah, but he actually was like a big inspiration to me, in regards of just him being independent, as a black man being able to turn down millions and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
from the mud.
Yeah, and he wasn't like overly billboard, you know what I mean? But he was still heavy in what he did.
Consistent.
Looked after his community. It's just such a shame that happened to him.
Giving away the turkey.
Do you understand? Oh, mate.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I just think it's a mad one because it's like he's in his hood and he got tear down in his hood, and it's like it's a mad one because he's got enough money to not even have to go there. But obviously, like he loves it, innit? Yeah. It's like man still go.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Home, like I still got family that still live in the ends or whatever. But it's like I can't ever imagine myself not going.
Yeah,
to my
it's
ends.
like finally
Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like you hear people like, what was he doing there? And then you hear like, because I see some people like, this one told me that don't go back to the hood and all that shit. See little mad tweets or whatever. I get that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like about moving off the ends and all that. But you can't blame a man for why is he going back to the hood or whatever. That's what he knows. That's his thing.
That's
innit?
home, bro. Yeah,
that's his thing, innit?
To outsiders, it's the hood.
They can't comprehend it,
but to us, it's home.
My man's a bad boy, innit? So it's like
maybe I would have liked to see him just move a little bit like more protected, be more aware of just how big your presence is.
Yeah,
just like do you understand when you reach those levels?
It's a reality check for man because what you have to understand is that's not the first time.
No, 100 shots
out
like
there
come
like
on,
that.
Yeah,
you get me. But even separate from getting moved to, I'm saying he must have been used to moving like that.
Yeah, just moving, innit? You get what I'm saying? It's like, man, a man move a certain way, blood, and it's like, I could get lit down on the way here or what. Not like that. You could get, it's whatever, innit? But it's like, he's just got that, he's got a brave you, innit? Yeah. He's just going, he's on his ends, and it's one of them ones.
But
it's
we're
like,
coming from a place, where things always happen the moment you start getting too comfy. You actually can't get too comfy.
You're right at the end.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But it's hard to accept that with your own area, your own people. My brother was getting on to me the other day for being in studio in certain areas. But for me, like you asked outside, inside, studio is where I have been able to stay connected to the source, to the element. Like we're all honest in studio. Do you get what I'm saying? And I guess I do have to have it in my mind. Where he was getting onto me, I couldn't really argue because he was talking about OGs in the same area getting licked down by no one. To this day, no one even knows who licked them down.
Yeah, come on.
You get what I'm saying? So it is. We can't. There's no way around it. We especially if we got a profile. We just. I remember in my early 20s, I always used to think I was gonna get. If anything was to happen, if I was ever to get like shot or something, not to speak these things. But I always assumed it would happen in my area. And then over time, I just stopped feeling like that until the area started to get hot again. You get me? It's just a constant part of what we got to be aware of.
Yeah, it's a mad one because it's like growing up or whatever. I think might have said this before on the show. It's like you think, you want to hustle, get your mum out the hood, get out the hood, where. Then when you actually move out the hood, you get some people that chat shit like, my man's left the hood, like you can't come back to the hood or whatever. No, man, don't. It's not that he can't come back. He don't want to come back. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like some people, it's not that they can't come back. They just don't want to come back. So then like the people still left in the hood, that's fucking hating or whatever. They just say you can't come back now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's blood. That's how Nipsey got.
But they say a prophet's never a prophet in his own home, innit? Do you understand?
That's a word.
Yes, the prophet is accepted in his own town.
Do you understand?
That's
it's like those are the ones you got to prove to the most.
That's a word, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, Jesus said the prophet is accepted in his hometown, so I guess that's why so many hate me in my hometown. But I'm grown now. I have to fight these battles on my own now. Something like that. Some old school lyric quickly just come into my head. But yeah, come on, man's already put that out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's how it is.
What we're really talking about when we talk about Dove is we're talking about the sickness of the community. Because what the fuck? That would never happen to Taylor Swift. She can go home. You get me?
Yeah, look how they all roll around when they're going to get their coffee and that. They're just like totally The only people they think about would run up is them like a crazed fan or, you know, like something like, you know what I mean? Fan. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Like,
you know what it is? It's like saying that, yeah, but man's rapping that gangster shit, yeah. Man coming from gangster life, he's a bad boy, innit? So it's like, not like that, but
no, but
how else are you gonna die?
But that's the truth. That's the
how
truth.
else are you gonna die? Because you're spitting, how you're spitting, and you're listening to all them tunes and all that. How else are you gonna die? You're not gonna hear, oh yeah, Dove got run over. Or, I don't know. Well, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
It's gonna be like that, yeah.
Because it's still in the ends. You're in the hood. I see him. He's moving. No, actually, when I chatting to my brethren, big up D Weezy, but yeah, he was even saying blood. Like, when I'm seeing this guy, he's looking like he was haunted. Like do you know what I mean? You know, like a man that wants to come out. See, like when Aggie was saying, like, there's certain times he wanted to come out, but he didn't know how to do it. Man saying that's how he's seeing my man looking in his face.
What do you think kills man more, beef or bad mind? I'd say bad mind.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's like even like when the devil, you know, what's it called? Deceive Jesus and stuff like that. It's always stems from jealousy or it's not like you're directly conflict and you're arguing, you know.
Yeah.
It's always normally, I find that it's like something within someone where they don't want to see you be that person.
Yeah.
It's got that everybody wants you to win, but after them.
Even most beef is bad mind anyway. Like it starts off from bad mind.
Jealousy and that.
It's
you know what I'm
normally...
saying? Cause more time people you beef with, you used to know them at one point.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's why the Bible
starts off with bad mind.
My mum always quotes this. The Bible says that the battle is not of the flesh, it's of the spirit. You understand? You see a man arguing, you see two people arguing, but it's a spiritual warfare out here. It's deeper.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Do you know what I mean? But no, man, over here though, you just got to watch what you're doing, man. Do you get what I'm saying? Because this is England the same way. Do you know what I mean?
It's a setup. Like until we have a black middle class area that we can go and live in. Yeah, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to be driven out of our own home if we're successful because of bad mind. Which is why I knew from an early age that there's no point me going and getting a check from the city, from these banks to pay me, because they're paying me to become detached from my people. It's a setup.
Exactly. I
agree
with you.
So for the check, I'm now on my own.
Bro, when I'm checking it more time, I've had most things I've had in life or whatever. It's never been with strangers. It's always with someone that man's known. Do you get what I'm saying? Some fucking dickhead. You get what I'm saying? But it's always someone man's known. Like it's never restricted. You don't really get it. I don't get into things with strangers. Do you know what I mean?
And then even like with businesses, I noticed like your biggest customers and stuff are always strangers.
They're
never your closest to you.
Even on the Instagram, you post something on Instagram. You post something on Instagram, all your friends, your proper friends, you know, that should be, and they follow you, you know.
Scrolling
they
past
should
with
be in
the
there in the
sauces.
comments, you know. They should even at least be liking. Like and then you got some friends, like even like the podcast page, like I got friends, they don't even follow the page. But then they will want to tell me about, the podcast or whatever. But little things like, I just think, but then you got strangers, people that don't, then they big you up and and you got people that's actually close to you that don't even, they find it difficult to even like. Like that's how their heart is towards your growth or do you get what I'm saying? Like, they would just rather you just stay in the hood.
Too close,
Mm-mm.
Yeah, people are complicated like that, man.
I think like some people feel like if they ignore it, then it will kind of go away. Like they try to act like they can't acknowledge what you're doing. But choose a day to stop and see how much of them jump in into the shoes of what you was doing. Do you know what I mean?
That's real. That's real.
It's a lot, man.
But
it's a lot. But R.I.P.
But if more people are getting it,
Mm.
there's less of that bad man.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. Now we're talking. But that's the only terms I'm thinking. I think as the collective. I've got my individual plan, but my real plan is for the group, or it's for the hood, it's for the black people in general. Because if I'm mad successful and everyone else can't figure it out, you know what's gonna happen. You get me?
R.I.P. Dolph, man. What else is popping?
R.I.P.
Soulja Boy's been kicked off the Millennium Tour.
For what?
Because he did an interview. He did an interview on Breakfast Club.
Oh, I watched the numbers going up, but I ain't seen
Dolph
it yet.
passed away, so he went and said about Dolph not being in, and stuff like that.
When did he get kicked off?
Well, they've just announced it, like
today.
Yeah, like maybe yesterday they announced it. Yeah, so he's been kicked off the Millennium Tour and stuff like that. Even with the Dolph situation, apparently they want to put like a curfew on the city.
Oh yeah,
because they're expecting
a mad thing.
But you know what else as well? Going back to that,
and they said it's never been done with an artist.
Dolph thing. Memphis is mental, you know.
Yeah, I
was watching one Project Pat interview, last night, and he was saying bloody like you ain't even got to have a gun license to have machine over there.
Oh, swear down.
Yeah, like you ain't
Memphis
got to have
is mad.
But they've arrested 3 people already in connection.
There was like 3 Merkins in one day or something.
People were saying black youngsters, Yard got hit and that, but I think that was fake. But
yeah, that was fake. And Yo got his restaurant. Fake
that was fake still. But yeah, it's mad. It's mad, bro.
I heard Jack Stacks, my bridge in Jack Stacks gone over there as well. To back Yo got he.
Okay, so another rapper drama, The Baby. Did you see that?
Yeah,
The Baby. What was the latest thing? The Baby mother thing.
I love her.
You love me? How much? That's not enough. Nah.
And Shawty's not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My
It's
side
your
bitch.
what?
Shawty is a certified side bitch.
It's fucking embarrassing me like that.
Shawty is a certified side
Shut
bitch.
up.
Just trying to act like she ain't. No, let's take it there.
Talking about side
Her parents know she my side bitch. Everybody knows she's a side bitch. She don't want y'all to know she a side bitch. She got to save her face. She got to crash all the way out. Call them folks. Save me.
Yeah.
Going mad.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah. I think he's a cornball. Like, literally, no.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, your fan base, a lot of your fan base is females, yeah? And I remember watching the live.
1 minute he's saying he loves her,
And
next minute it's a side chick.
So, yeah. So basically, yeah, so the baby's had a baby. She's 3 months old with that singer girl, Danny Lay. And I actually remember on the Current Topics, I spoke about that because she did a song about yellow bone. It was like,
I remember that,
and everyone took it as being colourist, you know,
Saying,
because
Was that
it's
the side chick?
Yellow Bone.
that's the same one we're talking about.
that's the
And
girl,
I
man.
remember
I
speaking
didn't even know
about
she's an
it.
artist.
Yeah, she's an artist. She's worked with Chris Brown and stuff.
And that's
she's
how he's
quite
dealing-
talented.
and
I
that's
love
how he's
her
dealing with
voice.
her.
Yeah. And that's another thing what I said, like, I saw a lot of people saying, no, he went live and he said he's going live for his protection. And he tried to draw like paint the picture, you know, like for black man protection and stuff. And let me tell you something. I go hard when it comes to them things, yeah? Right. I'm a black woman and I'm all about protection of the black. That had nothing to do with no protection. You're just fucking disrespectful. How can you need protecting if the girl was asleep? She said she was asleep in the bed with her baby, your newborn, at 3 a.m. in the morning. So what do you need protecting for? He didn't need protecting from me because I know I'd have got arrested if he tried to dash me out and my 3-month-old dad. I don't care how it wants to look, whatever. No man ain't getting me pregnant, having me in the bed after she says she just cooked in dinner. I'm asleep 3 a.m. in the morning with your baby and you're going to wake me up and tell me I've got to go. I don't even know how that even makes sense. Why would you even want to do that and then go live? She's never showed the baby as well, never to the world. That's the first preview.
That was the first time
she has never showed the baby. She hasn't showed no pictures. She hardly showed any of her baby.
The baby.
It's just this. It made me feel sick to watch it though.
The baby's baby.
The baby.
Like,
it's mad. I didn't even know that was the world's first.
And I agree. Like
certain things have to be sacred.
Yeah,
you know?
and I agree. There's a lot of people say no. You know, girls getting pregnant for these. I totally get it when it comes to know who you're getting pregnant for as well, but we just got to remember as like that's the mother of your child, that's your daughter. I just feel like what he done there was so disgusting. I don't know. He just ain't got no ratings from me for that.
Do you feel like what he did is that different from what goes on in the community?
No, I feel like that happens all the time. I feel
What is
like
it? Is it people rushing into families without knowing or thinking about what they're getting into?
Yeah, I do. I feel like people they give mixed signals as well.
Yeah.
And people don't know, you don't know each other properly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was going on tour with him here, there and everywhere, and not once did he go live with you.
Right.
But the moment you became the mother of his I'm sure you lot have had your arguments before. You're now the mother of his child. He's got you where now he's disrespecting you, degrading you and everything. It's like he wanted to totally just disrespect her so that her, like lower.
Yeah.
Like I can't explain it. Like he just wanted to tarnish her. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's what that looked like to me, because she's not even a person that speaks on what's been going on. So I just thought like it was
he called the feds
very
as well.
strategic on his part. Yeah, he even called the police on her as well. Even that. He's so dumb as well, because he should have known that. Police coming into them places, they run into places with guns nowadays, They see a black man arguing with a white, they could have drawn their gun on him or even her.
You see my man, he's hard-headed still.
Very, very hard-headed.
He's hard-headed. He'll cut off his nose to spite his face. That's a man that will...
But I still don't get it.
But like, even on the live, he didn't come across transparent. If he came on the live and he was saying, there's a lot that you lot don't see. She's this, she's that. Even with the gum and the way he was talking, it just all looked like a show.
Yeah.
You're still not even being real with the laugh. It's actually not a laughing matter. I don't even know why you're laughing. Yeah. She's a side chick. It didn't make sense. Grow up. How old are you? Ain't you a big fucking man?
Yeah, he's a big
It's just
man.
immature, and it just makes the girl like, girls, what? Look at these things. You have to look at these type of men like, is that the type of men that you want? Because those type of men can't get a whiff of me.
But why
do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want nobody acting like that.
So popular? Like, because there's a lot of men that are like him, like especially after all of that Summer Walker, Summer Walker's thing with all London and that. It's like, what is it? Is there a type that everyone's going for? What? Like, how is everyone ending up in this situation that's in the public eye on a rap thing anyway?
I wouldn't say everyone, because I noticed that they don't highlight good relationships. It's the narrative that they've posted.
True.
Couple goals is now toxic. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I noticed when you got like nice couples, they come across boring. They don't really get highlighted. They don't post them as much and stuff anyway.
I hear that.
Do you know what I mean?
You just get the Tory lanes and all that.
Yeah, they like to
drama.
post toxic stuff.
Yeah, I hear that.
I don't know. I feel like obviously certain lifestyles is open doors to certain things, innit? You know what I mean? There's I'm big on energy, so I just feel like there's a lot of open doors. So it depends on what you're dealing with in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what? Your mindset has a lot to do with it. How disciplined you are has got a lot to do with it. Your spirituality's got a lot to do with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you ain't got all of these things in check, you're not even in the place to be no leader of no household, be no role model, be no dad.
That's
I'm father, or even elevate a woman to see her purpose and be the best person she can be.
That's a fact.
Do you understand? Like I said, too much is placed upon an artist just gone in the booth and expressing himself.
Yeah.
Just because he's good with words doesn't make
him good at
to
life.
be. Do you understand? It's like like sometimes you got to separate the artist from the art. I can like an artist and not. I can like what he like. What I can like a song, and that don't mean that I like everything about that person.
The way he raps here, he doesn't rap different to what he done.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
It's
actually,
true.
Someone even
That's
actually true.
There's one bar. You know why the bitches
That's
love me?
actually true.
The baby don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's actually true.
But it's true.
Yeah.
So maybe you
that's
should've
actually
listened
true.
to
He's
his
not
word.
actually faking it to no one,
maybe
because
you
he's
should have
actually.
listened to his words. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he never. That's what I was saying. My man's hard headed because he's never denying it. You get me? He's never acting like he's not petty. He's never acting like he's above certain shit. But then again, sometimes he is. He's trying to act, he says one thing and does another.
Is it still wrong anyway, or all
I just think he was wrong on all parts.
Yeah, it's wrong.
The other day he got in trouble with the LGBT.
Yeah,
I
that's
bet
what
Danny
it
Lay was beside him, consoling when he thought his career was, what's it called?
Yeah.
But the moment you're back out again, you're on live. I don't know.
Yeah.
He looks like the type of person that gets jaded by the fame and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Attention seeking,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't
But
respect
what I
what
want
he
for Batty
done.
Man anyway? What's the next thing?
For what?
I just keep. I was watching the YouTube innit? They got one thing like what the fuck bars for drill.
One slap cuffs on me, take me to custody and look at my balls, Batty and Dick. Like wagwan for Batty man. Come on officer, you've seen my balls, Batty and Dick. This month, more than my BM, more than my link.
But there was one thing he's saying like, yeah, wagwan for Batty man, like officer, you wanna check my balls?
Oh no, I've seen that.
Like, so wagwan for Batty man.
People are so dumb.
Mad.
The next thing was it was Travis Scott, but obviously we covered it last week. But because when we done it, we just found out, so we didn't have a lot of insight into it.
But now you've seen other things.
And I've seen other stuff. So I just feel like what I wanted to say was before when I was talking about, he's an artist, he might not see everything in the crowd. And you know what I mean and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that anymore.
Yeah?
No. I think it's demonic.
Yeah?
I do think there was a lot of demonic stuff, and I feel like do your research if you've got that much, if you're going to be using all of those type of symbols and stuff like that, misleading people in the energy park and stuff like that. I just feel like there was a lot of things to me that drew attention to that type of thing for that type of thing to actually happen in your festival. Do you know what I'm saying? All I do know is it's now gone to $1 billion.
The suit.
2 billion.
Right.
They're hit with a 2 billion lawsuit on behalf of more than 282 victims, basically. Have filed a lawsuit. Drake's even involved in it.
Yeah, I've seen Drake's name on that.
Energy Stadium and Live Nation. So that's some crazy stuff going on right there.
Yeah, that's all mad.
Do you know what I mean?
I ain't looked into it enough to say.
Human sacrifice.
I did. And when I look back on it, I mean, what can you say? You walk through, even the way when you walk through his face. Then when you turn back, it's a skull head. On all of his flyers, it was talking about that, that kind of apocalypse situation. You on the other side, all of these symbols, the hell burning of the fire, the 8 flames, 8 people passing on there. You've got 8 Grammys. Your T-shirt walking with the blue people going and then they go through the door is devil and stuff like. I mean, it's called Energy Park. Like, how much more things? Like, like normally there's no smoke without fire, but how much fire is there going to be? Like, I don't know. What is that?
Jake's involved as well.
It's too much.
Jake's
It's too
involved.
much. He even had a... Listen, I don't know about Drake. I just know
what
that...
my mum would say, there's life, again, the Bible says
Life
it.
and death in the power of the
and
tongue.
death.
That's me. Life and death in the power of the tongue.
Life
and where
and
there's
death.
more raw, everybody knows that, even like Muslim, you lot pray in unison.
Yeah.
Anywhere where more than one person's gathered and stuff,
The spirit's
things
amplified.
come to fit. Exactly. So if you've got hundreds, thousands of people screaming this type of thing, you know what I mean, harnessing this energy in this one place. Do you understand?
Yeah, man.
What is that creating?
Serious thing.
What is that?
But I think a lot of the time, these people play with it for the industry. You get me? They play with it for the
That's what I
mainstream.
think as well.
You get me? But they don't really...
Yeah, they don't
know
understand what they're dealing with.
They don't know what I'm going.
Yeah, cause you look at it over here, like almost everyone wants to use one eye and do all of that.
Yeah, you don't
See
know what you're
baby
playing
with
with.
it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's different.
You need to know what you...
Hey man, the battle is not of the flesh, it's of the spirit. You get me? But where we don't get a consistent, where we're not connected to the source, that's one thing I
Yeah.
find about black people out here. Sometimes we can be a bit floaty. We don't know where we fit. So if it's not the trending thing, or if it's not what the streets say, we're not really, like, the third eye don't stay open. but you gotta keep that shit open, man.
Come on. Yeah, it's like they say, what is it? We're not humans having a spiritual experience. We're spirits having a human experience.
There you go.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they say this is the devil's playground, innit?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Gotta be on guard.
Yeah. But
Came
What
with
was
the
that one?
lyrics,
That
yeah.
was from season 2 or something.
yeah, well, that's how you know it was. Well, I believe it, innit? That's how I can remember to say it. But yeah.
That's hard,
But,
bro.
yeah.
I'm gonna remember that one.
The next thing was bit more lighter. I don't know if you lot saw Ashanti did an interview. You love Ashanti, so yeah. Ashanti did an interview on Angie Martinez, and she was talking about stuff. And did you lot know that she doesn't have any ownership over any of her masters or her music
I
and her
didn't know
projects
that.
and stuff like that?
Who's
I
got
can
it?
imagine.
Mud Inc.
Irv Gotti.
Irv has it personally.
Personally. So basically, she was just talking and stuff, and she was saying that she's about to re-release her album. So she's going to re-record it and re-release it.
Okay.
So that basically, you know, everything
Her-
will now
those are
become
her
into-
masters.
It's now her stuff. Do you
Yeah.
understand? You know, her ownership and stuff like that. And so she's done this interview, and you know, everyone was happy for her and whatever. And then Irv Gotti went and commented on there, and he's put on there.
I see you playing the clown again. What's he done?
Yeah, so Irv Gotti has commented.
Do you remember what he done on DMX Pass?
Okay,
What did he do?
He's an idiot. Speaking on the cause of death out of turn.
Yeah, just get mad.
Really?
Said he got,
So,
said it was because of food,
It's
innit?
a bad crack.
Really?
Yeah.
says that, bro?
See,
A man's
he
job-
got a bad rap. X got a bad rap.
I've got he's a chief. bro.
Anyways, so she's decided to re-record. She's gonna, you know, re-release and all of this stuff.
What's he commented?
He says, just for super clarity, I own all those great Ashanti albums, Angie. I own the masters and I produced all those great Ashanti albums. So I also own a good portion of the publishing, which she's trying to do is re-record all those great records and put them out on her label. She can do this under the cover laws, but she is basically trying to F me over out of my masters and make people decide which album to listen to or stream, hoping her loyal fans will choose her version. But hey, I stand on the magic that was created and I want to see her duplicate that magic. It's effed up really, but such is life. And then he just goes on to, you know, saying some other stuff.
All right,
What would you think?
let me put my emotions to the side for a second. Let me
Yeah.
try and be objective about what he's
Yeah.
saying, yeah? He feels like she's fucking with his bread. He feels like he put in the work.
Right.
All right, he like Irv Gotti's a musical man. You get me? He built the tune. He probably had a lot in direct. He had a hand in directing how she sang, and you get me? Okay. He's also American, and Americans are big on aggressive business. They got an aggressive style of business. That's why Diddy got such a bad reputation for all those years, because it's take.
Take, and
Man.
don't want to give
You get
people
me?
what they're,
Take
what they're
that, take
due.
that.
Yeah.
You see it? That's what that really meant.
Yeah.
Now, that's his perspective, innit? But me not being objective and putting my perspective on a situation, I feel like, bro, you ate off her for 20 years.
That's my point. You've had 20 years of her masters. So I'm sure that, you know, you've cooped at least, come on,
You're
she's
right, bro.
41.
You get me?
You can't let her have gone through with her little thing here.
Where's your honour?
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's it. It's all about integrity for me.
And then you're
you know what I
crying
mean?
on the ground. But again, now I also have to factor in his pattern of behaviour. I think he's a little bit loose on social media still.
Yeah.
I think generally, sometimes he shows quite like a lot of immaturity for someone who's a legend. He is a legend.
Especially for someone I find that's a class act.
Yeah.
I find Ashanti to be quite a class
She's-
act because
she's
I've
together.
never heard her speak.
She ain't
on it,
messy.
Like, she's not messy at all. The way she presents herself and stuff, she's not messy. And she's been around the camp. I'm sure she could have spoke on a lot
See how
that's
she
gone
comes through on
on.
the verses.
You look at her. She's kept her. She's aged so beautifully. Everything. Do you know what
Minds
I mean?
her business.
Give her money.
She don't ever like
Do you
Jaro
understand?
again like that.
Did you see Nelly running over to come hug her? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
She's still got that little energy about her.
she's got
Do
that
you
about her.
understand? She's got that
Can't you
thing.
disrespect
Give
the
her
queen?
her money. You're acting salty.
Nah.
Because it was her that used to do it there. You know that, innit?
Oh, is it? What?
Yes.
Irv?
All the time when everyone thought she was with Ja
Ja.
Rule.
Is it?
Irv was there, man.
is it?
Yeah.
I don't know that still. All right, so that makes
So
it
now
even
you know.
worse.
Yes.
blood.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I can't respect. But you know what I think it is as well? I think Irv probably feels like he should be further than he is. You get me? I think a lot of that Supreme, 50 Cent.
But that's because of the way you went about business. You get what you put out sometimes as well, innit?
I do think so.
You get me?
I think you've
Sometimes
got to
it's a
take
quickie and
responsibility
you're
for
not
that.
going to get the full because you was just, because greed came in.
where your
Do you
heart was
understand?
wrong.
Where your heart was.
Yeah, 50
The
came
whole
and
lot.
killed them, man.
Yeah,
50 came and killed shit.
Even the way, I just don't think, it depends what you pre in it. I think the way that 50 Cent shit boiled over, I think them man were in a very arrogant space and it probably felt untouchable.
I don't think Ja Rule was, though. Nah. I don't think he was.
I think Ja Rule was kind of pushed around by events.
I think so. I think
he
so.
didn't have a choice.
I always liked his energy. I even liked the way he's handled himself, even coming out of it. He doesn't come across bitter or anything. Like I really like Ja Rule's
I agree,
thing.
actually.
Do you know what I mean?
Only since the verses.
No, I've heard him
think he's
speak
been quite
previous
humble for
before.
time,
He's been
yeah.
humble.
Yeah.
He has. He ain't been like, and you know, even when 50 makes fun of him, even now, like
he can run with it. Yeah,
he's
he
got
don't
that
get drawn out.
bigger
50's
person
a bad
kind of. He's got that bigger person
50's a
kind of
mad
aura
man.
about
Yeah,
him.
50's
But
a mad.
I rate 50 though.
50's
Yeah,
a bad
50's my guy.
I
don't
love
give a
50.
shit.
I love 50.
You don't give a shit.
He's
50's my
unruly.
guy.
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
Nah, but what people don't understand, I think
You can't
50,
tell him about
50
Ja Rule.
died, innit? Basically.
And 50's doing what we're talking about, what we need.
Yeah.
You see, like what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, like how you got Sopranos, Goodfellas, all of these iconic mafia, all
About
of
the
these
culture.
people that came from where they came from,
Yeah.
they're allowed to eat off of telling what their
Their
stories.
story. Yeah.
50's doing that.
BMF.
Power,
What do you mean?
Rare,
What?
tell our stories. When I hear people say, no, another hood story, yes.
Yeah.
'Cause they're still hoods.
Yeah, literally.
As long as there's a hood, there'll be
Literally.
another hood story.
Literally.
We're going to eat off of it. We don't want all of these rich directors and that doing, they depicted the story so well. Fuck that.
Let
We're
someone
gonna do
credible
it.
from
we
our
want
side.
the money, the
Yeah.
ownership. It comes here.
Yeah.
Love what 50's
50's
doing.
true, man.
That's it.
I'm happy with 50 still.
Yeah, nah, come
Love
on,
it.
man.
I love it.
Get
Yeah,
rich
so
or
that
die
was that.
trying.
Right, so we're still in America, you know, and the coming topics.
I swear there's more.
NFL player. I don't know him as the player. I just know since he went viral. I sent it to you, Spray. Do you remember? There's the Zach Stacey, the man smashing his girl into
Oh,
the TV
fucking
screen.
hell.
I sent it to the
Is that what-
RTM podcast thing.
Oh, what is he a player? Yeah, I thought he was.
He's an ex-NFL player. Did you see it? Was you
seen
able
it.
to see it?
I saw that.
Madman.
Come on.
Into the
Seen it.
Come
TV.
on. Did you see before it?
That
He picked her up and smashed
Oh, yeah,
her into
on the
the
table.
baby's.
Oh.
Oh,
the
yeah,
baby's
the
little
baby's
walk
little
into the
crib thing.
walker.
Yeah.
Then picked her and dashed her into.
No, cream. When he left, he tried to say "I love you" to
But
the
no,
youth.
but.
Oh, is
But
it?
did you see when he stood over her? Yeah, he gathered
That's
himself for a couple of minutes.
a
You know,
madman.
like, did you see when he gathered himself for a
That's
couple of minutes?
a
Like he was telling
madman.
himself, "Oh, shall I kill this gal?" Did you see when he stood over her? Like he really wanted to. If he had a gun, it could have gone off. I saw it in him. Yeah.
Man said "I love you" to the youth on
Listen,
the way
no
out.
woman deserves to be
And I was
no
thinking to
punching
myself-
bag for no man in front of your youth.
I was thinking to myself, if that camera weren't there,
I don't even think he knew the camera was there.
he didn't know.
So
He couldn't have known
basically,
the camera was there.
and we're gonna get into snitching, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Call me a snitch.
Right.
Because he needs to go to jail for that. So when she came on the thing, because there was people in the comments talking about her, because she was there saying she wants him locked up or whatever. If she has nobody, yeah, it's different. Like if I know my brothers, my people, they don't have any man beating me up like that. But if you haven't got no one, you're in there with your child. What else are you supposed to do? This is a man of the public. He's an NFL player.
Yeah.
Crashing you into the TV. What if he killed you in front of your son? You're not meant to go to the internet and speak about it. You're not meant to do anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
mad.
So I'm glad that she took it there.
Yeah, that he went way too far still.
I'm glad she took
I
it
don't
there.
even know. Anyway, I can't relate, man.
That got, I
He
can't
went-
relate because
He
I
went
can't
way
even.
too far. You get me? Can't. You get me? You get me? If you're in a relationship, you have
Obviously,
your,
like,
you have
if-
your little. You get what I'm saying? You have
Yeah.
your tear ups, but not like that.
Everybody
So,
goes through, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you got to remember, if everybody had cameras in their yard, there's things that's gonna, you know what I mean, that not everybody,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Just
But
not them
that to
ones.
me
Yeah, that's too
is
mad.
extreme,
Yeah, that's too mad.
unacceptable, and no one should be going through that behind closed doors in front of their
disgusting.
kid. Do you understand what I mean?
But back to the snitching thing, yeah. For me, that wouldn't even come in the category.
It wouldn't come
if someone
into
wanted
it.
to
I
tell
think
on
that's
that,
they must have been just trolling in the like. I didn't even get that, because he's a player. You see, like NFL player. I don't know if he's got his little fans or I don't know, but he was on the run.
that don't
He's
even
been
relate.
arrested though.
Don't even
Police have
relate.
got him, but yeah, I don't think that should come into it. Little TJ, do you not know the artist called Little
Yeah,
TJ?
yeah.
I just heard about him on the blogs.
Yeah, I saw him get moved to.
Yeah. So what do you lot think about all of that stuff?
So from what I see, it's another American.
American artist, yeah.
Got-
So it's
got
all
moved
alleged,
to.
because I don't know exactly what happened, but it looks like he could have been moved to when he come here, and then he was doing a show and telling someone, do you want to come up on stage and fight and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
I just feel like we all need to do better. Like, at the end of the day, especially as artists, if you're gonna start all of that, they're not gonna receive UK artists when they go over.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You lot don't want to start all of that type of thing. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like, why are you gonna do that? Just let him come over.
But I
and
also
perform.
think it goes back to something Spray said about Dolph and the way that Dolph went out. Like, if you're a bad boy, that's the energy that you're putting out. And I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he puts out bad boy energy, but I think generally what comes with rap is people wanting to test you.
I thought he put out that more singy rap kind of stuff. He got I don't know, his music. You know, you got it.
I don't know, but all of that.
I
He
thought
wants
he
to
was
come on the
more-
stage and fight.
Yeah,
and all
that's
that.
what I thought.
He
Like,
could
why
have
are
done
you
that when
doing
the
that?
man them was out on that. But 'cause he's just everyone's obviously
ain't gonna
there
work.
to everyone's there to watch him anyway.
Yeah.
But doing all of that, man would have went up there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man would have went up there and fucked them all up.
Yeah. Okay, so Fredo, he's doing really well. He posted like a snippet of his last month's sales or something with his partnership with Kick Game.
Oh, swear
2
down.
million.
Come on, 2 million
Yeah.
sales last
Yeah.
quarter or whatever.
So he posted that and it hit the blogs.
Yeah, that's a
I wanted
beautiful
to
thing.
speak on that because it's, highlighting,
Yeah,
you
big
know what
up
I'm
the
saying?
bro. Yeah,
Artists
yeah.
doing
Come on.
stuff, investing,
Diversify.
and all of them things there.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I like that. Do you know
We
what
love
I
to
mean?
see
So
it.
big up Fredo
We
on
got
that.
Fredo still.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Making business moves and things, and Fumes, the engineer.
So I heard that he's responded
Yeah.
to what people have said, but I ain't heard what he said.
Well, it's a response. It's not a full response. He's basically said that this will be addressed in the new episode of The Mix, but for now, feel free to ask the rappers on the show, not randoms I've never worked with or angry kids I rejected for a plug-in, but people who have actually done one. That's what he said.
Do you know what? See Fumes, yeah? I used to think Fumes was cool in it. I know Fumes and all that. Yeah, I've done his interview or whatever. Fumes. I just think he was cool, but bruv, he's a idiot. Yeah.
What, for this?
He's just a idiot.
this or
he's a idiot. He's changed, innit? You know, like, see
I
what
don't
it is,
know
blood.
him.
See this thing, blood, yeah? Because I've been in it long and all that. I see bare people go through it, innit? Some people take it well. Some people, you know what I'm saying? Some people, like, certain man have just dealt with it all right, innit?
Yeah.
Stormzy's dealt with it all right. Certain man, you know what I'm saying? Certain people's got get to the head. Jamal was cool. Couple people went to the head. Posty went to his head.
Big up
Couple-
Jamal.
Rashid went to his head. Like, bare people, it goes to the head, blood, yeah? Do you get what I'm saying? But it's like, so anyway, with Fumes, obviously he's got the game on lock, innit, now, innit? With the drill thing, the plugged in thing. But I didn't know. And like, man said to me, yeah, anyway, I hollered him for him to come on there. And then, anyway, fuck that anyway. But all that stuff about, what I will say, all that stuff about, oh yeah, he don't pay no one or whatever for going on the channel, it's just always been like that. Everyone I've named, Jamal, Posty, all of them, they've never paid no one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, you know what you're getting into anyway, and they've got that platform in it, that if you was to release that same thing on your platform, you might not get as much views in it. So it's like, It's just business, innit? So
I think it's
my thing with fumes is more personal, not even that issue.
okay.
I just think, yeah, you're an idiot at fumes. You get me?
My thing on it is
And I hope that A1 you punches you up.
First class.
okay. Well, mine is different. I feel like I don't know fumes. I don't know A1. I don't know.
I'm joking.
But it's business, innit? And you got to know the contracts you're signing nowadays. You signed that contract. However, like I understand fumes doing it's his platform. You've got the choice to do it if you want. It's his platform that is gathering all of the
views and
views
that.
exactly. So obviously you're going on there because you know his platform is going to have views. However, you know, like when you said that we've got to make a bit of a change. You've done certain things that you didn't like, but you knew that it was going to help your people. You're now doing what the other corporations are doing to us and the big labels are doing to us. Where are we going to get to go and be dealt with fairly? It's just like what we spoke about with Irv and Ashanti.
No, but it's like
I just
Diddy
feel
and
like
that, innit?
there just needs to be some form of better
Can't look at the
negotiation,
R-ones
some
and start
form of
getting onto
better.
them.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Diddy took
Like,
over here.
I don't know exactly what's on his contract. I don't know if A1 knew exactly what he was saying, but from what I could gather, it was like he takes 100% of the royalties or the masters of what is on that thing. I feel like you can give if everybody eat, everybody grows together. Like you said, you've got to grow it's too much individualistic growing. So that's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
If we all got
That's why it takes long.
Takes
So,
longer.
I guess it's necessary for these conversations. I'm always aware if
You
I
shouldn't
don't
have
have
G'd him
all
up
the details.
about the DMing the gal though, man.
Yeah. You went into his business.
I never see that. Who A1?
He started saying that
He
he
said,
bought
yeah,
a girl.
He G'd him up.
Actually, I forgot about that. He said he bought a girl there, innit? When he filmed his thing, and he ain't stopped. He's always posting him and his gal, but he ain't stopped DMing the gal. One of the video gal.
I hope your girl hears this. I hope you.
Either way, yeah.
Is that snitching?
Got him in
I
trouble.
don't know the ins
Is
and
that
outs.
snitching?
Yeah, that is.
I don't know the ins and outs of them lots thing, innit?
Yeah.
And generally, obviously, I commented on the Irv thing because Irv said what he said, innit? And he was the one that's saying super clarity. But where I ain't got clarity on everyone's business dealings, I don't know how it goes.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that people go on what's like. If you're moving into an industry, you're gonna like when in Rome, like do as the Romans do. Do you get what I'm saying? So like you were saying, they're all little ditties. Do you get what I'm saying? And until a new era comes in where there's new standards, to them they're not moving mad.
But we need.
They're
more
just doing what's
leaders.
normal.
We need more leaders.
Eh?
It's like that tune, Big. You know the one that you done on Colours? I like that platform. That's
for
a
a
platform because
leader.
I like their little thing, what they do.
Yeah,
you know, with
yeah.
the freestyles and stuff, and they show diversity and that. The one what you did with Madvick Saver.
Yeah, man, respect.
That's big. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, we need more leaders. Like I don't really conform.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because I feel like well-behaved people barely make history anyway, they said.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to break the rules sometimes to make change and stuff like that. Do you get me?
You know how it goes.
So I don't follow. I do my own thing. Do you know what I mean? So stop following.
Yeah,
Step
no,
out.
you gotta
make
break.
change. Let's grow. Do you know what I mean? And build.
We gotta do,
and that's it.
We gotta do shit different. We gotta decide to. But
And I rate Diddy. Diddy's rich. Like he's a boss and stuff, but I don't. They
very
say
curious,
boss. I'm not sure because like they say, boss make sure everybody eats.
Right.
When I look at all of the artists for how much power he has, and I love, there's a lot what Diddy's done, but so much artists didn't.
yeah,
They come with you. But how did you? It doesn't make sense. Just you eating. Like when you're gone, what's your legacy? People are supposed to be able to stand
people.
around and say, "This one inspired me. This one encouraged me. This one helped me. This one was kind to me." Do you understand
It's
what
the
I'm saying?
people.
Not this one ate for me. You don't want them to just come to stand and spit on your grave.
Diddy made people go far to bring him a cake up. Remember that show you did?
oh yeah, that funds were spent to you.
Yeah, that's madness, man.
Different thing in it. Like everyone's on a different page,
That's
but at the
mad.
end of the day, if we know that we're coming from the
we
same
made the locks
situation,
wear some shiny suits, man.
Locks weren't
That's
having that for
madness,
years. Remember, your Locks was getting onto them.
Yeah. That's madness, man.
Locks was getting onto Diddy for years after that. But look, we're all coming from the same situation. We all need each other to bust. Like Fumes needs the artist, and the artist needs his platform, innit?
Yeah, it's an engine. And all parts are needed.
Yeah. So it all boils down to how we work with each other. You get me? And if there's respect in the situation.
Yeah. Okay, next one. What else was going on? I think that's it. What else? Have you got any spray?
Nothing. I see some American girl try hot up Digger D.
Oh, yeah.
You get me? But yeah, that's about it I see over there. But she's just going mad. She needs some gunshot.
Hear you. What?
But yeah, flip him. Oh yeah, going into the dilemma. This is the reason why I even picked the main subject of snitching. Yeah, because so yeah, I normally do the main subject first before the dilemma. I'm gonna do the dilemma first this time.
What about what you did?
But anyway, boom. Dear RTM Podcast Show, I've recently moved into a new flat on my own. It's got 3 floors and I live on the second one. During the first few weeks of me moving in, I repeatedly kept hearing a little girl upstairs crying, along with loud bangs. It got too much for me one day, so I went upstairs and knocked the door. A black man around mid-50s answered. I explained to him that I could hear his daughter crying constantly and whatever he was doing, he needs to stop, as I don't like police. He agreed to keep the noise down and I stopped hearing the crying for about a month, but it's back again along with cries of "No dad, please." I'm a road man, so phoning police is just not my thing and I will feel like a snitch. But I'm sure that this little girl is in trouble, even though every time I pass them on the stairs, they act okay. The girl looks about 8 years old and the only other person in their house is the mum, who I never hear a peep out of. I want to just go upstairs and knock him out, but then I'll get arrested and I'm on license. I'm really torn and don't know what to do. Please help. Big up Spray and Cream. Loving the podcast. Keep it up.
You need to do something, bro.
Big him up, but yeah, something needs to be done.
You
That's
need
the
to do
child.
something.
Children need to be protected at all costs. You get me?
So it's a mad one, isn't it?
Yeah, she's how
So-
old?
He said
Around
the girl
8.
looked about 8 years old, but he don't know what to do basically because
Need to
he's
do
thinking
something,
if
bro.
he goes to the police, he's gonna feel like a snitch, innit?
If that's the only thing holding him back from going to what you need to do something. Like all of this, I understand, but having the time to write that story out and think about it and live through it for over a month and then send it to the RTM podcast, that's time that you could have been doing something.
I say go upstairs and punch him up.
Do something.
Yeah, I'd go on there and knock the door. If you don't want to go to the police, you got to go and knock that door
You need to do something,
and do
bro.
something because there's
Because
a
Right,
he's
to the
already knocked the
RTM.
door. He's already knocked the door. I think the next time, go up there and be a bit more physical.
yeah.
You know
It's
what,
like,
going like,
if
look at
the
the
police
even
come,
like-
if the police come, I'm sure like they don't want the police to come there.
Yeah, but so the flat that he lives, what the people are above him, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's other people in there, so they must can hear it as well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He painted a very clear picture to us, innit? So he knows what I'm going.
Yeah.
And if he sits around and allows that to continue, that's on him.
That's I feel the same as well, because you don't want it to be a thing where one day you're coming out and you see blue tape upstairs.
What?
Do you understand? Or ambulance outside. Do you get what I mean? And the mum is like, what's the mum doing?
I think it's these things happen with a lot of families. Probably.
Yeah, but
Do you know
it's
what I mean?
the child.
And they just keep it to themselves. So the mum's just probably used to it. But what I will say, what are you saying about I'm a road man and I don't want to feel like a snitch? That's why I picked the main subject to be snitching. Because I get that. Do you get what I'm saying? Snitching is something that we don't tolerate or whatever we don't. But that's on the road. This isn't on the road. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would say to him, he's got to look at himself in it and just make his decision up what he feels. Do you get what I'm saying? Because like I'm saying, if that's how you feel, then you're gonna have to go out there and punch him up.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna have to do
Yeah,
that if you're a
something has
road
to be
man.
done.
Hear what
Do you get
I'm
what I'm
saying?
trying to say?
Because doing
That-
nothing to me is the worst thing out of everything.
Do you know what I
Doing
mean?
nothing is the worst thing.
What's the point?
Especially when it's a young girl up there. You don't know if she's getting molested. You don't know if she's getting beaten. Do you understand?
What's the point in standing on the principle of not snitching, yeah? So you're trying to say you got principles, yeah? Not getting onto you, bro, but what's the point in holding on to that principle if you're not honouring a little girl's life?
Exactly. Well,
Yeah,
well,
if you're not
well
gonna
said.
go to jail, if you're thinking about your own license.
I'm not gonna lie, bro, what's the point? Like, in the time that you wrote that message, you could have done something still.
Yeah, no, it's a mad
And
one.
you don't have to just call police. You can call Child Protective Services. That's not snitching to
Yeah.
the police.
True.
Call social services. Do you understand? And just say that you keep hearing the girl up there crying.
But
Write it anonymously.
it's snitching only to the police. Is that the only time you're
But it's like, what?
No,
what's,
but I know.
so
No, but
what's
I'm
the-
talking in regards to him.
And
He
police,
sounds
yeah.
like it's a police issue thing with him because he's on license. He's gone jail before. His issue looks like he don't like the police. He ain't got nothing against Child Protective Services that are put there to help children that
Yeah.
are in trouble. That's
They ain't gonna
actually a
recall you.
system put there that you can go to help thing. That's not snitching.
Yeah,
Any parent that's not looking after your fucking youth, something needs to be done anyway. Because that's neglect. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's one thing I can't stand by and watch. Do you understand? Children to me need to have a childhood. That's why there's so much people out there with so much fucking issues as well. Because a lot of people that are acting out, violent, angry, all of these things, you have to go back to see why the person is the way they are. And a lot of things are gone on in the yard that nobody wants to talk about. Angry men violent to women because they saw their dad licking down their mum. Men violent to things because they was getting touched on and don't know how to say certain
Literally.
things. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, but it's the truth.
That's facts.
And they're not saying nothing.
Astaghfirullah.
So the moment you touch them, you do something, the anger that they, because they can't,
different.
even that one, Zach, what we saw there, the NFL, we don't
That
know
comes
what he
from
went through.
somewhere.
Why something happened, why he's thumping that gal like that. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm a girl, I know, I grow around a lot of boys, innit? I've spoken to boys. And, you know, when you get to talk to men and stuff and you go back and you listen to them, you know, like listen, there's little things where you can see. So that's where that trait comes from.
Yeah, man.
That's why do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Children need to have childhoods. Do you understand?
But see
Because
me,
when
I feel like that's a simple, sorry to cut you, but that's like a simple principle that we can all agree on.
But how many people do you know had a childhood?
Exactly.
And without
And
having to
becau-
worry about adult stuff.
So now, because of that, because of how many of us had to come up, we should be even more vigilant. We should be even more on
Exactly,
it.
protective.
When there's any sniff of a violation
Exactly.
on a child.
Exactly.
So I just can't relate. If you're saying that you feel like you're a roadman and in your spirit, it's not even, you're not even saying I'm holding things in the yard. It can't really have too much. You're just saying I would
Can't
feel bad.
You've got to do something. You've got to. They say that trauma to the brain when done when you see trauma but from young, it stops something from the brain developing the way it should. Do you understand? There's loads of people where they stop growing at the time when they had trauma fully. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of those things create PTSD, confidence issues, anger issues, etc., etc. That woman, that little girl there, she's destined to live in a full purpose, a full, what's it called? That demonic thing that's happening to her in that house is stopping. I hope it
Blocking her
doesn't
own
in the mighty
blessings.
name of Jesus. But these type of things stop people from living in their purpose. Do you understand? It could maybe mess up her confidence. She can't be, she could have a voice where she's supposed to speak to people and things like that. You got people messing around with people and their destiny.
No, man,
Something needs to
listen.
happen to that man.
Yeah, bro.
I don't care what it is,
Bro,
but
I don't-
something needs to happen to him.
Bro, if you call yourself a road, let's even take the road out of there. If you're a man, something has to happen. That's it.
Yeah, you got to sort that out, man. Go out there, knock on the door. You're gonna have to be a bit more violent this time. Do you get what I'm saying? If it's either that or you're just gonna have to phone the feds, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's one or the other. But you're gonna have to do something. What are you saying, Creep?
He has to do something, yes.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
to go up there. Do you understand? Because the thing about it is you see me, I don't even know if I could sleep, keep hearing her in there crying.
You understand?
I don't like to hear them type of things. Do you understand what I mean? I don't want to hear no, daddy, no, daddy, no, daddy, no. That nah.
You're bugging. You're bugging. You think
something needs to be done, and I actually want to hear I want to hear follow up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to know. I want to hear if I actually with this girl. I want to know what happened.
Yeah, so let us know when you decide to snitch. Let us fucking know. You get the way you're writing, you don't sound like you're gonna go and thump him up.
From that message,
you don't sound like you're gonna phone
He sounds
services.
like he wants
You're gonna phone services.
Give me any idea, but I'm not calling them.
He's gonna phone services.
He's like,
He's gonna phone the
come up with
services.
some ideas,
Now you gave him the idea about the services.
you can do that.
Services.
Call them
I
people.
don't think that is snitching. You don't have to speak to the police.
Just
you don't have to, what's it called?
Don't tell your gang members.
Do you get what I'm saying? Or write an anonymous, or I would write an anonymous note and stick it on the front door. A threatening note.
What happened with chess?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, man, do it
You
with
don't have
chess.
to know.
No, he
Do
needs
it
to
with
see
chess,
someone.
man. What type of threatening note? And your license. Anonymous note.
Yeah, that just
Anonymous
made me, I
notes.
know,
I get all
literally,
of
I
that.
know.
He's gonna know it's the you that knocked his door.
You understand what I'm saying,
No,
bro?
No, but then, but
Bro,
his
you-
paranoia, because he knows that people can hear, he's not going to know what door is coming from. If he lives in a block,
he's
think
gonna
about
know
it.
this
gonna know
is
it's that
that
you.
guy that knocked. Talking
He's
shit.
not my door that he's trying
He's
to leave you
gonna,
rascal.
he might lick up the girl even more. Like, yo, my man heard again, you know. Like,
Bro,
Nah, that's why they need to be thing, because he's just going to be abusing her more smarter. Do you understand what I'm saying? Gets more and more smarter with it. Do you understand what? We don't know what he now.
that's what he's
Something
probably
needs to be
doing for a
done.
month, and then he just
Something
thought,
needs
fuck
to be
it.
done. Something needs to be done.
But
about daddy, no. Are you mad?
nah, that brings us into the main subject, because basically, obviously, you got this snitching
About it.
thing. About what?
What you did this week? When you going to do that? After.
Yeah, so basically, we got this not unknown, but the law of the roads or whatever. No snitching, no ratting, which is what, obviously, it's a big thing in the streets. That's why Alpo, the last episode we was talking about, he got licked over or whatever. That was down to snitching, innit? Because it just never leaves you, innit? Once once you're called that, you're called that. But that's why I picked that, because of the dilemma. It's like, okay, so is snitching. It's either you snitch or you don't snitch, or when is it okay to snitch, or do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like we've always had like little silent kind of laws in the game. Do you get what I'm trying to say? As to like what kids now will call a civilian, like a road, like someone not off the road, we would expect them to go to police. Do you get what I'm trying to say? As far like to me, I could never look at that person as a snitch, or you're a snitch, because you're paying taxes. You're just a normal person. This is what you know to go, where you know to go for help when people like me trouble you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If that makes sense. So it's like, and then, but then you got certain situations where I think like, right, so say you're with the man them or whatever, yeah, or you're with your brethren, yeah, and you're with your brethren, because we've all had little things back in the day or whatever, school days or whatever, but like you beat a thing, yeah, and then your brethren's gone through or whatever, he's end up beat the thing or whatever, yeah. But imagine your brethren's come, he's told you he's beat the thing, whatever, then the girl scream R on the brethren, but now he's saying he never beat the thing. So now they're asking you, do you get what I'm saying? Did your brethren's,
Did he say it?
or whatever,
Or
you
even
get
on
what I'm
the
saying?
flip side, say you know he did.
No,
Say
but he
you
told you he did.
No, that he asked.
No, but he told you.
No,
He told you.
No,
He
no.
already told you. He already told you.
he
beat.
told you that.
He
No,
already
but,
told
but
you
say
beat.
he told you that he ard. So say there's confirmation that
No,
you
he's
actually
already told you he beat.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But then she screamed R. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And they're asking you.
And now he's saying he never beat. Now he's saying he never beat, but he's already told you he beat.
Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of techie.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But remember, you're a man off the road, so what?
That's
You get what I'm
kinda
saying? You
techie.
can't G out your brethren, innit?
I can't. But this is the thing.
You can't jack your brethren.
You got to speak to the road thing, because that was never my religion. So I don't know how you practice that faith.
No, but you get what I'm trying to say? No, but...
Yeah. I understand.
Do you know what I mean?
I understand where it's techie. And it's always going to boil down to, where your loyalty lies. Yeah. From the outside, where I see it, because I'm not a road you. Mm-hmm. But it's like, what do you value? Like, who? Like, is that your brethren? Do you know your brethren is a bit mad? Is the girl that's screaming? Do you care for her? Did you get me? Like,
I just think it's technical. It's so technical. Cause I'm a girl, yeah. I'm not a road gal, yeah. But I definitely know. Do you understand what I'm saying? But even if you're not, it's like you come from a thing where you're meant to mind your business. You know what I mean? Like, if you see something happening, or you see something that happened,
you don't see it.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? You mind your bit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
that's the culture that we come from.
Even from young, it's like, you mind your, like, why are you talking for? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's something that got embedded from just young. Like, I can't explain it. Like,
but then that's how people would say R. Kelly got away with troubling Aaliyah.
Yeah.
From a child.
The people that snitching.
Because everyone saw
but
it.
I still feel like
But
to me, I feel like no snitching was put in place to protect. It wasn't put in a place so that you can just do anything.
Exactly.
I feel like, obviously, in the beginning of the no snitching, when it come in, it was meant to be a thing that protected us, innit? So we've got our own code and our own law of what we go for.
Yeah.
We don't snitch on our brothers.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like it should have been in the beginning. And then it's just gone out of hand. But obviously, there is definitely grey areas, because if you go to a studio, and you go and see your brethren in there, and when you go there, you see underage girls, and you know that there's loads of things going on in there that you know, if that was your sister, you would be smoking him for it.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation?
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's like snitching versus morals.
I was just about to say common sense and morals.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Common
Because
sense
does
and morals.
snitching come over? Is snitching more important than your morals?
The reason it gets,
Do you get what I mean?
The reason it gets so techie is because we're trying to find shortcuts around morals.
Basically.
Trying to find ways of...
Like, I understand that about certain things, because a lot of police, like you even said, can't be trusted because they're a gang.
Yeah.
They don't snitch on each other. They don't go to prison when they do things wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like teach one, what is it?
Each one teach one.
So you've got to show us that you hold your people accountable for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when one of your lot kills somebody, a civilian on the roadside, mistaking him because he's black or something like that, he should go to jail. The same way how if we kill somebody, we have to go to jail.
Facing consequences.
They don't go to jail. Ever. So you've got a no snitching thing in your thing, but you don't want it to be out here. So I feel like that created it to make it even bigger as well.
But the police, to me, you've got to take them out of the equation. They're not, like you said, they don't play like fair, like on some spiritual, even playing ground. Do you get what I'm saying? They got all the resources, they got the government, they got the law on their side. I can't think from a police perspective, but from our perspective, as long as we're trying to find shortcuts around the morals and to say, you get me, like...
But trust is earned. It's not given. And anything that goes wrong, that's the person, that is who, the society, that is the place that where all of the people in this thing, that's where we're meant to go to, no? That's where we pay taxes. They actually work for us.
True.
They police our community.
Right.
We're meant to feel safe with them.
You're right.
We're meant to know that if anything goes wrong, I can dial 999. Hello, police. That's the way how it actually is. That's how it's actually meant to be.
That's how it's meant to be. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I just take them out of the equation because I don't know how to make them like that. Until it's us, policing us.
So what will make people want to snitch then? If it's morals... Yeah, you've got your morals, but then it will make you want to deal with your thing personally. Then,
yeah, and
because if you don't want to deal with
them,
them,
just know what road shit is.
So that's why we have
just know what road shit is. Like if you're coming on the road, if you're coming on the road, whatever. Even from a kid, I knew about the streets, whatever. What I'm getting myself into. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But you know what you're getting yourself into. Keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the rules in the game that you're starting to play.
Do you think
follow the rules?
Do you think that enough young people, like when you're coming on the road, say you're 13, that age that the world hits a lot of young boys, do you think that guys really have an understanding of what they're getting into?
No, but that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I was gonna get into that. You got a grey area,
Yeah.
But then past a certain age, you're not allowed no more. You're not allowed no more. You get what I'm saying? You're not allowed no more. You get what I'm saying? You might get a 1 foot before, like, I don't know, 16.
Yeah, it's like innocence versus
16,
intention.
You get what I'm saying? It's like what Bouncer said. Big up Bouncer still, but Bouncer, they had all the little snitch thing around him, and I see he answered to it. He said, listen, I was 15, I said a couple things to the police I shouldn't have. But he's 9, he shouldn't have said it. You get what I'm saying? But he took it back, whatever. But I'm saying, he was young, innit? 50, like, I know certain people, they've said things, whatever, they was young. I feel like I wouldn't, you get what I'm trying to say? But I've never been in that situation, and you would never understand, you get what I'm trying to say? So, it's like, but past it's like, the government say you're only allowed to smoke after you're 16, or you're only allowed, you know what I'm saying? They've got certain ages, so even with the game, we're gonna have to have certain ages, innit? That past that age, like, you have to know what you're doing, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
there's
do you get what I'm saying?
levels, yeah,
you have to know what you're doing, so it's like, as long as from you're that age, and your mouth needs to say shut, you get what I'm trying to say? For certain things. As far as that whole Harry thing, that's down to you. That's your conscience and your... Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whether you jet your brethren, because it's a brethren thing as well. It's not just about... Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's down to you. You might want a jungle justice that... I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? But as far as street shit's concerned, do you know what I mean? You're supposed to know street shit. It's like shit's reached me, and I could have got a lot of man bird. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I just know the game I'm playing, and that's not what you're supposed to do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm gonna follow my thing, what I'm supposed. Cause I know what I'm got myself into. So when shit hits the fan, I'm not gonna start chatting shit or and getting man bird, cause that's not what I'm on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
It's fuckery, but yeah. I think. Even at a late, and I agree, but even at a late stage, a lot of the time people can't hack it. They just don't. They didn't realize. Like, I was listening to a man's story the other day. He said that he done 2 years, came home. He was out for like 10 days. He was in a whip with his brethren. Out of nowhere, dashed food on his lap and ran out the car. He looks to his side. He sees feds. And now he's back in for another 2 years, and he's been home 10 days, you know. He can't tell no one.
Mad.
He can't tell no one that that's not his. He's got to hold it. And at any age, that's very difficult, blood. That's a very hard thing to just swallow. But again, it's the life.
Yeah, man. You gotta know what you get yourself into, man. Do you know what I mean? And like, as far as street shit, do you know what I mean? Keep your mouth shut. You get what I'm saying? But other stuff, that's what I'm trying to say. Like that stuff with the dilemma, that's one for the soul. You get me? You're gonna have to punch that up. But obviously, we know he's not gonna punch it up. So let us know when you snitch. You get what I'm saying? Mr. Roadman on license. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. My thing is, I know where no snitching comes into. Yeah, it comes into play with stuff. You got to keep your mouth shut. I just wish that there was other codes that was held to that standard as well.
But it's street
that's
shit.
That's the main thing for me. It can't be the only one that's the only code that nobody ever think. Violate every other code, but that's the one that we don't. How about we don't fucking, go against each other? And do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to even be in a snitching situation.
But you know my
do you
thing,
get what I'm saying?
I look at it on the flip side of thing. Yeah. Like how I look at it is like all that no snitching. I get that. But how about turning into a better criminal? Because you see what my mum used to say to me, anything you do it to your highest, best ability. So when I said to myself, right, boom, I'm going to do badness, innit? I had to be do it to the best of my ability. What I mean by that, yeah, is that forget no snitching. Make sure there's no one able to snitch on you then, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Not like that, but I'm saying that even in America, they have this thing like, yeah, we leave no witnesses. Do you get what I'm saying?
You're sounding
I'm going mad.
Yeah.
I'm going mad. But I'm just saying,
big bad spray now.
but forget, but I'm just saying, forget all, no, but I'm saying, do you get what I'm trying to say? But then you don't have to worry about all that.
Can't comment on
no, but
that
I'm just trying to say, but even down to doing moves or whatever you're doing, make sure no one's there to see you then, innit? Do you plan your move better or?
Hey.
You can't, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Or stay in school, kids.
Yeah, stay in school. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Stay in school. You know,
Learn coding.
Learn coding, innit?
Learn
Spence
coding.
can't take that away from you.
Learn coding. Do you get what I'm
Stay
saying?
in
Get
school.
your trade.
But
That's
obviously,
yeah, but
like,
yeah.
I get
Have a
misunderstood in it. I get misunderstood, so you might not understand what I'm saying.
know,
But
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
But at
Like,
the same time, though,
That's
snitching, but
it's
then
real,
it's like,
innit?
do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much put on the snitch, but how about like doing your crime better? Do you get what I'm saying? How about doing your crime better so that no one
But
can
here's
no
the
one can
thing
snitch
though,
on you?
yeah. I think men have this problem a lot. I think we think about things straightforward. You get me? So you've gone and you've done a move and you're assuming that you can see everything. My man was punching up his wife in his yard. He didn't even know that he was on
exactly.
camera. You get me?
Exactly.
So there's always leaks. There's
But
always
then that's what
something
I'm
you
saying,
ain't
you got to take
factored
that.
in.
You got to take that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take that. All this, you're a snitch and all that, bro. Like, you got to take that.
Yeah.
No, but you gotta like just look at the play of everything. Every time you watch something, like even when you watch BMF, when you watch Power, I'm talking like I'm not just going like for typical those programs, but those programs like they highlight the lifestyle of that type of man and their dynamics and their friendships, relationships and stuff. When something happened, it was never just done just right then. It was always strategic. If you look at how it is, even with someone's always one step ahead of somebody, planning something beside them. Do you understand what I mean? So you're never, no matter how calculating you are, you can't calculate how that person's gonna feel or perceive you or do you understand what I mean to you? You don't even know how.
I've had a madman.
Do you understand? You cannot control it all because none of us are God.
I've had
So,
a
do you get
madman
it?
call me, say I'm a snitch. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but this is a man that was supposed to be man's bedroom, but yeah, me. Do you get what I'm saying? How could I have? What I'm saying, I've even had man. That's because you don't want to take accountability of your own shit. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So naturally, you're just gonna think, or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But a lot of people, it gets like that. Do you get what I'm trying to
Be a
say?
better criminal.
Like, do you know what I mean? Be a better criminal, because then you wouldn't even. Do you get what I'm saying? You wouldn't even in your
Them
mad
thoughts
head.
wouldn't be in your head.
In your mad head, wouldn't even be able to get to me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because what you want.
But then
You know what I'm saying?
there's a flip side of it to where now you watch Blood TV. You watch Blood TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to do bare.
And they used to call him
But they use his stuff though, innit?
They use his stuff, but that's separate, yeah. Like he used to interview bare rappers and bare black street youths. He's gone on a run interviewing ex-mafia man. Have you seen the mafia ones? He interviews bare ex-Cosa Nostra youths, bro. And all of their stories end in snitching. And one thing that I've realised over time is that I feel like snitching ain't going nowhere. As in, it's gonna be around forever.
Well, if we're following America, it's gonna get worse over here.
Yeah, do you
feel
watch
like it
Mob?
is
Do you remember
kinda
that
bad.
program Mob Wives? Literally, as they was filming, her baby father was coming out of jail, and it shows him on there. He comes out, he's around them for a little bit and stuff. All that time he was wearing a wire.
Mad.
He was actually snitching while they was even filming the
Doing
program.
the show, yeah.
Because that was part of his deal in order to get out.
They all
he had to
snitched.
come. Do you understand what I mean?
All of them OG snitch,
And then they go
to
live in
jail,
Arizona.
and they find papers that say their boss was snitching the whole time.
Yeah.
Send me the ball.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like,
his daughter's in it. That in the Mob Wives thing.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah. So
yeah, they sent me that.
yeah, so she was in arguments with a lot of them because they was calling him a rat and this and stuff. But yeah, like it's crazy.
Listen, man.
Stay in school.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Stay in
days.
school, kids.
Stay in school.
But yeah.
Get your code and
Stay in
certification.
school, but the school system needs to update the system because we're telling them to stay in school, but the schools need to have more expectation on our young black people
Come on, man.
and
Free
steer
the
them in
minds.
the right way. And
Free the
if they were
guys.
creative and you might see that they
Free
might
the
be a little
guys.
bit have an attention short span or something. Sometimes not just be they're being rude. Sometimes look into them. It might just be that they excel in a different
Free
way.
the guys.
Do you get it?
Free the guys.
Free the guys.
Yeah.
Guys, free the minds.
Yeah.
You see it? No, yeah.
Nah. What have you done this week, please? What have you done this week? Just keep your mouth shut. Stay in school. You get what I'm saying? Keep your fucking mouth shut. You get what I'm saying?
I've just been working on a lot of content. Basically, I've done a lot of filming this week. So
Get on.
I've done a lot of filming.
Get on with it.
By the time this comes out, I most probably have another thing dropped. So yeah, check out. My freestyle should be out as well. My famous flow freestyle.
Cream. Yeah. Let me talk my shit. Turn me up. Real hot chick, but you know my ting ice cold. Murder on the beat, killing bitches like a psycho. Addicted to my pussy, love it when I send him slideshows. In between my legs on my thigh, where my 9 go. Nigga wanna take me out, but I stay taken. Team stand firm, leave them bitches shaking. Haters stay hating on the money that I'm making. They can never stop me, get behind me Satan. 2 down, 3 up, lashed up with my pee up. Can't chat to my re-up, had to put my fee up. Balling like my D up, all my niggas stay G up. Still shitting on bitches, chilling out with my fee up. Icy, pricey, always been a wifey. One taste of this good, he in it for life. Too pretty to fight, but trust me, they can't fight me. Rich bitch shit, getting checks like Nike. Cream.
And stuff like that. And personally, I actually got drawn out this weekend as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know it's nothing to, but I just thought I wanted to talk about that and just let everyone, like, just a little message. Don't let anyone, don't allow anyone to disrupt your peace. Do you understand? Like, don't call my phone to tell me about anything negative. I don't want to hear about that rubbish or nothing like that. You know? And yeah. That's
Don't
what
kill
I'm
my
saying.
vibe.
Yeah, don't kill my vibe.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Have you done anything this week, mate?
No, I second that. I got drawn
No, but
out.
you know what, sometimes you got to keep it real. Yeah, I go here, I went there, but it actually something that happened
That's
with
real.
me, innit? Like,
This
I
week.
got
I know
drawn
what
out,
you mean.
and the thing is, I didn't even think I was. I started off I started off as the bigger person, telling someone, just leave that, you know, and by the end of just entertaining a certain energy, do you understand?
Changed it.
And my mum always tells me about that, you know, about the entertaining, positioning. It's everything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
You can be a light, but if you're in the mud,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, innit?
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't allow no one to steal your peace, disrupt you, take you off path of what you've got to do, and them things, you know?
All right.
Done anything this week?
What did I do this week? I
Got drawn out.
got drawn out. I got drawn out a little bit, but it was a reminder for me as well. You got to be
I
careful
got
what you give your
fucking
energy to.
drawn out as well.
Oh
my gosh.
Wasn't it?
I got fucking drawn out as well. But not even. But I didn't even take the draw out. You get what I'm saying?
Didn't you? Oh, that's good.
If I took the draw out, it would have been A&E. You get
took
what I'm
it
saying?
still.
No,
I
but
took it, I
mine
took it.
was, but
Would've
like
been
I
A&E,
literally
you get
made
me?
somebody
Someone
cry
would've
on the,
went
you know,
A&E.
like, you know when they're crying, and I know that they're gonna know one, but do you understand? Like, I actually, yeah.
It'd be like that.
You know,
other than that, I delivered a lecture about prison education.
Go on.
Free the guys.
Yeah,
Free the
free the
guys,
guys.
People
free
need
the
support. COVID has been mad in the jailhouse. People have been banged up differently. No education, no association. So mad.
IPP still
talk
going
about
in.
it.
Horrible.
Man just
horrible
dangling in
sentence.
suspense. It's what?
Horrible
That's
sentence.
torture. That's psychological torture.
Horrible.
You understand?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah,
there's-
they need to do something about it though.
Yeah, we need to do it. They ain't
Yeah.
gonna do it for us.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
We
Man
need
is
to do
sitting
it.
there with no release date.
99 year sentence.
And they ain't killed no one.
Can you imagine? Danger to the public.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Horrible.
Really?
Horrible. You got man that's sitting on M cases with their release date.
Yeah. You got man coming home. Yeah, I
mean-
don't want to get too far into it, 'cause I'll get worked
Horrible.
up.
Me, you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I ain't done nothing. I ended up, I got shift quickly. You get what I'm saying? That's about it. You know, it gets like that. You get what I'm saying? It gets like that. You get what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So that's why the show. That's why I couldn't post the show. You get me? I was feeling so sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. I was feeling sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Nah, you know them one day, fam. I didn't call Crime Stoppers though.
It was
I didn't call Crime
Stoppers.
Stoppers.
Draw out week, mate.
I didn't call Crime Stoppers, but I was feeling sick and tired.
You see what we go through to give you people the content.
Do you get what I'm saying? But that's it. But I needed it though.
Yeah.
Because I was going to. Sometimes you need a little sit down to just reassess.
True.
And God gives it to you at the right time.
Yeah, like a reminder.
God gives it to you at the right time. Because you see, that's what it is. Look, see you. God knows my head's mad, innit? So it's like, see you, sort it out, car. You could quickly, I'm a man, I could just quickly and then wake up, I'm in scrubs and it's long. You get what I'm saying? It's long.
No,
if I don't dub it, you get what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to control.
It's easier to give the advice, innit?
No, do you get what I'm saying, fam? So it's like,
saying?
all right, cool. So I had to sit down and just have some introspection and make sure I'm continuing on my same path and don't get card. Do you get what I'm saying? Man's still man, innit? So it'll be easy to just jump off a path quickly. So man have to make sure man's still on that same path and
but you're there.
You see me?
You get me?
Yeah,
you get me? We give thanks. We give thanks. You mean?
You get what I'm saying? And it worked out because from there I just said, you know what? I'm going harder on this because Mum was gonna do. Remember, it's the start of season 3, innit? Alhan. So Mum and you was booked anyway. So we were still gonna do every 2 weeks. Do you understand? But then I thought, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go harder because everyone else does it every week. So I'm just gonna do it every week. So this one's gonna come out a week after Alhan's.
There you go, people. Weekly business.
Next one.
Is it?
Next one. I'm just gonna see how long I can do that. You get what I'm saying? Keep busy because this is good for me.
Come on.
It's like my therapy, innit?
I hear you.
Music was my therapy. You get me? And that's why my music was like how it was, innit? And that's what I believe. These maniacs, is their therapy, innit? They're just mad, innit?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But nah, this is my little thing. I get to come and I sit down. I can chat shit. I can have my little drink. We have a little laugh. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's always positive at the end of it all. Do you get what I'm saying?
Come on.
Do you feel like that when you do yours?
100%.
Yeah, it is,
100%.
innit?
It's straightening, innit? Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening.
Every time you come out of like the prisons and all that, the workshops, I salute them as well. You feel good, innit?
Yeah, 100%. I feel better than anything.
That's like me, because the vibe, because you just know you just help them.
Yeah, you
for a couple
help
of
someone.
hours, they felt free.
100%.
They felt free for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad to hear you do that too, though.
you get what I'm saying, fam? But you know, like, they actually forget that they're in prison for a couple of hours.
Yeah, bro.
And it's like, it's a good
Makes
feeling.
a difference. Oh, I went on a visit still.
But they're not on it no more with me. I don't know either. Stop following me, man.
Also, I just wanted to say congratulations on your wedding.
Come on, thank you very much.
I love it. I recently got engaged.
Oh, yeah, I saw the ring as well. I was like, yeah.
Come on.
You're done now.
But yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man. Congratulations to
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, no, man, come on, man. Man's jealous, man. you know, it's there, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? All deluxes all got a tick. Mad, man. You get me?
Nah, never
Man, tents over here. You get what I'm saying? Tents over here. You get me? But me have money.
I saw in your interview though, like it sounds like you lot got a special bond and stuff, like
Different.
that you lot was friends and stuff like that.
Differently.
So it's a nice love story. I like it.
You know what
Do
she
you know
did
what
for
I mean?
me
It's nice.
the week before last week? She put together a whole show for me, a surprise show, because she's my event producer as well.
Big.
So if I'm doing a George the
Love
Poet
that.
show, she's running it.
Love that.
But she put together a George the Poet show without me knowing.
Love that.
So I come into the venue and it's like everyone's there and it's all a
Waiting.
surprise.
Really?
And,
Oh, that's
and it's
lit.
like she's showing the audience like stuff that I dropped this year. It was in a cinema, innit? So they're watching my thing on the cinema screen. Baby, I love
Mad.
you know. She's like, girl, it's different.
Mad.
Oh, big
Mad.
up,
No, it was
wifey.
different.
Mad,
Big you
mad.
up, man. Big you
Mad,
up.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
big you up, big you up, big you up.
we can give her a clap for that still.
Yeah.
We can give her a clap
I love
for
what
that
you lot are
still.
doing.
Thank you.
Get me.
Thank you very much,
Big,
man.
big.
Nah, man, cause that's a big man thing as well, man. Cause you
Yes.
have to know when to put the ring on it. You get me? Come on, fam.
Yeah.
And it's mad. I just
You get
knew,
me?
like, I've known her for a long time, but there was one year where it just hit me, and I just knew, and I even put it to her, and she thought I was bugging, bro, because we knew each other for so long. She was like, I'm not really sure. I think you're going through a phase. You need to calm down. You need to drink some water. You get me? And get back to me. Let me see what you're saying, innit?
Yeah.
So I had to put in some work, but
Lovely.
you get me? Here
Yeah,
we are.
it sounds
Yeah, man,
like
good
you
to
lot
see
are
them.
equally yoked. You lot complement each other.
Yeah.
I feel like that is very important. Do you know what I mean? She obviously, like, when you talk about her, I see how you're smiling and stuff. So sounds like she knows your love language.
Yeah, very much so.
Do you get me?
You get me?
Hey, Cream loves it, you know. hey, Mom, yeah, because she just loves talking. Mad, anything to do with relationships, she's ready. Yeah, love language. Whatever, man. You get what I'm saying? Whatever. You get what I'm saying? Whatever. But every episode we give them a book to go and read. You get what I'm saying? This book's mad. You get me?
Raging.
This Left You Dead. You get what I'm saying? This one's called Left You Dead. You get what I'm saying? It was because I picked 2 books. I went and I picked 2 books last time, and
Okay.
I was just in a mad state. Look, I got nicked. That
So
you
what
can
is
hear
that,
it.
fiction or non? What is it?
Fiction. I'm not gonna read the synopsis. You get what I'm saying? But Left You Dead by Peter James. You get what I'm saying? The only reason I'm letting them see this one is because the last one was by Jeffrey Archer, and it was Turn a Blind Eye.
Okay.
But basically, I was like, that was the Alan show, and I was like, I had to go shop quickly to get some books. So that's the mind state I was in. I've
Got
just
you.
looked, and I've been turning a blind eye to a lot of things. rare. So I picked Turn a Blind Eye. You know, books, that's what they just
Speaks to you.
Yeah, so I've
Yeah.
said Turn a Blind Eye. Boom, pick Jeffrey Archer. And this was the second one, Left You Dead.
One more time. Get it.
Stay in school,
Get
stay in school.
Get the title one more time.
Stay in
bro.
school, stay in school, stay in school, stay in school. Stay in school, flipping.
But yo,
Man's got the
come on.
woolly hat for ya. To go with the Avenger.
You're done now.
And the thing.
Yeah.
Man's gonna have a tracksuit for you still, but
Yeah.
they're
That's the
sold
merch.
out. Man's just waiting for the reload.
Alright.
You get me? But you
Yeah,
rock
G.
the tracksuit as well, so
Respect, bro.
I'm gonna make sure you get the real of the most tracksuit when they come true as well. You get me? But love for coming true, man.
Bro.
It's been a pleasure, fam.
My
man.
pleasure.
Appreciate
It's been
that.
a pleasure.
It was
You
good.
get me? And
Yeah.
it's been
You're
real.
gonna
I'm saying,
love
and I
this.
knew. You get me? I knew you'd deliver and you delivered. You get me? I knew you're one of us. And I was chatting to you. I was chatting to you. GLC, big up GL.
Yeah.
Because GL rates your thing as well.
Okay, respect, bro.
Because I think GL's one of us as well. He's a little special guy. He's a bit of...
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Follow the
Also.
Queen. You get me? A hair's going mad at the
don't
moment.
you know what?
get
You
I'm
lot
saying?
know. Listen,
I
I've
don't
been
even know what
filming,
happened
and do
from
you know what?
Hey, the colours pop.
No, I only just I rate the colour, but I only just
it's a bit of a madness, but you know the vibes. I've been working hard. I was filming till late yesterday, but you know, Ice Cream, the poster girl on Instagram, Queen Ice Cream TV on YouTube, poster girl lashes, and that's that.
Follow me. I can't believe that. Up to you still. I look up to you. His rap thing still. You get me, car. I know his story in it, and when I get him on there, they'll understand. Mike's been through a lot in it, and even though I say he's bitter, I don't mean it in that sense. Like, he's got reason to be bitter still.
Yeah.
I've got reason to be bitter.
I don't like the word
and
bitter.
I don't be bitter. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I know what I just say it how it is, innit? But Mike, you get me? Me and him understand each other, innit?
Say less.
You get me?
Alright.
But yeah, no, love for coming through, man.
No, respect,
You
bro.
get me?
Cream,
Love for coming
enough
through.
No,
love.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Follow the
also.
Queen. You get me? A hair's going mad at the
don't
moment.
you know what? You
get
lot
saying?
know.
I
Listen,
don't
I've been
even know what
filming,
happened
and do you
from
know what?
Hey, the colours pop.
No, I rate the colour.
It's a bit of a madness, but you know the vibes. I've been working hard. I was filming till late yesterday, but you know, Ice Cream, the poster girl on Instagram, Queen Ice Cream TV on YouTube, poster girl lashes, and that's that.
Follow me. I can't believe there's laughter. Follow me. Follow me at young_spray on Twitter. Shit. At big_bad_spray on Instagram. Follow the page at RTM Podcast Show. www.reallythemost.com for the clothing. Follow my brother.
Come on, George the Poet on everything. Follow Have You Heard George's podcast to keep up with what man's doing creatively. And respect, bro.
Come on, fam.
Love.
Really the most. RTM to the world. And them girl.